Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to another episode of Morning Nonsense. And we do, oh man, do we have some nonsense this morning? Interesting things happened. Interesting things happened, and even since yesterday, like I said, chat, like I always say, you take your eye off the nonsense for 1 minute these days, and you just get overwhelmed. You just it gets ridiculous. It's kind of like roaches. They just keep coming out. If you don't take care of them immediately, they will just grow and grow and grow. It's just disgusting. But in this case, it's just hilarious. Anyway, we have so much nonsense to go over. In fact, that you have choices to make, chat. You have choices to make. You've seen a lot of good mornings in the chat. Good morning to you all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm glad you can make it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all being safe, being cautious, taking precautions. I hope you're all being. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And if you're not having a fantastic day, I hope. I hope this stream makes it a better, or at the very least, doesn't make it any worse. That's the ideal situation here. But here we go. Here we go, chat. We have so many choices to make and so much nonsense to go through. Because I'll give you. I know some people in the chat aren't really all that interested in comic stuff. Well, the Comicsgate stuff in particular. Concerning Ethan Van Sciver and the people surrounding him. So that's why I'm going to give you a choice because something interesting happened last night. In fact, well, actually, very early this morning, you could say that Donny Cates, one of the comic book pros who can pretty much be summed up as one of the guys calling you Nazi on the internet. He actually called he who should not be named, he who cannot be named, which is aka Ethan Van Sciver. on live stream. He just it was kind of a funny, interesting conversation because Donny Cates called Ethan on his private line, but he called him while he was live streaming to over 1,000 people, and there's at least around an 18-minute, 15-minute conversation between the two. And it was the beginning of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but the beginning of it is mostly just Donny Cates complaining that, hey, I thought we are going to have a private conversation, and then the other half of the conversation seems to be Ethan Van Sciver saying, "Well, you called me. I wanted to tell. I just want to tell you right now is not a good time to talk." And then Donny Cates just kept talking, trying to make himself the victim, and I just couldn't help but think throughout the whole part of what I saw was that this is a guy who just last year was calling all of these all you people, all of us people, we were all Nazis last year. You know, when he had job security. But now that his wings have been clipped, suddenly we're not looking so bad, are we? So suddenly he wants to make peace. Suddenly it's just, oh, I just want to be on YouTube, make my living. I just want to be on YouTube, just grow an audience. Oh, now you do, huh? Now you do. That was a it wasn't before, right, when you were just calling everyone Nazi and trying to label people you didn't like as untouchable and blacklisting people and making them untouchable so they can't make money. So people say, "Well, I don't want to support a Nazi. I don't want to support a racist. I don't want to support a bigot. I better not back the book." And then they succeeded anyway because no one believes you. But now that your wings have been clipped, now that you don't have that delicious paycheck coming in from your precious comic book industry, now we're not looking so bad. Now it's just want to make peace. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to take any money away from people. What? Not anymore? Okay, okay. So chat. This is the one choice I wanted. Well, that one the one choice, but a choice I wanted to give you. I know a lot of people in the chat don't really care about this stuff, so I want to be fair. Now we can cover it, and we don't have to. We don't have to. So now we have about 95 people in the chat. I think it's a good, fair amount of people to before I ask this. So I will give you a few seconds. So yes or no, chat. You tell me what you wanted to see. You tell me what you want to see. Do you want to see that covered? I have. Believe me, if you don't want to cover, that's fine. I have plenty more stuff to go over. Believe me, we are not. Our cup runneth over. Okay, our cup runneth over. So I'll give you a few seconds to respond, and while I do that, I'll read Obelisk Titan. Thank you very much for the 799. Appreciate that. I played Origin Overlord game. Story is about heroes become villains with line in it. That good has not is not how close to evil it is. So okay, so Origin Overlord game. Oh yeah. Okay, I think it's that. You're talking about the game called Overlord, where you're actually like a bad guy, but you're actually fighting fallen heroes. Yeah, that's a really interesting thing. It's a really interesting thing. I really like that game. I like the first one, for the very first Overlord. I had the second Overlord. I haven't played that one all the way through. Okay, we're getting a lot of yeses in the chat. Getting a lot of yeses in the chat. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, I think okay. So I think we'll go ahead and cover it. Okay, so I haven't seen the whole thing, so I just saw the beginning of the conversation. So I think we might be in for a treat. We'll be going into this after a certain point. We go into this blind together, and we'll see how the rest of it is. It's like an 18-minute long video, but it just highlights the part of the stream where Donny Cates calls in, and Ethan Fitzgiver says, "Hey, Donny Cates, why don't you just say hi to Comicsgate?" And then Donny Cates goes, I'll say hi to people who love comics. And like, yeah, it's Comicsgate. Say hi. I'll say hi to anyone who likes comics. It's Comicsgate. Just say hi to Comicsgate. I'll tell you why this is so funny to me when we go over it. It's fantastic. So okay, I'm getting a bunch of yeses in the chat. Okay, so we'll cover it, chat. We'll go ahead and go over it. I think it's interesting. To me, it's hilarious. I really liked it. I really liked the. I found it very, very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. Let's see here. Uh, Why am I wrong about the ending of Watchmen? Thank you much for the 5. Nice, very nice name. Very nice name. Let's see here. Hey, LitDev, it's my B day. I'm working on a Joker fan sequel where Batman becomes an authoritarian to counter Joker's anarchism. Any suggestions? Oh, first of all, happy birthday! Happy birthday! Hope you're having a very safe birthday. It's unfortunate that you had to have your birthday fell under the umbrella of this troubling time, but I do hope it is fantastic nonetheless. Hope you had a delicious, delicious cake, plenty of presents. Probably you're probably getting a bunch of presents delivered to you at the considering the circumstances, or maybe a bunch of e-gifts. Uh, and speaking of gifts, chat, I was going to get you. I was going to offer you a. I was going to put a free download in the description today from a Dropbox. I'm having trouble with the Dropbox. Nothing too serious. It has a few things to work out, but I was going to offer a free download of a one-page comic for everyone because chat. Thanks to you all. Thanks to everyone in the chat yesterday. Uh, I'm going to show you exactly what happened because this is good news, excellent news, and I have you to thank for it. I have you all to thank for it for being generous, for your generosity, and for being just amazing people. It's fantastic. So let's start off. So I think it'd be a good idea to just before we get into all the nonsense, let's start off with some good news, shall we? Some winning, some more winning. 'Cause I know some of you in the chat might be tired of winning by now because we are just getting win after win after win. But here's some more. I'm going to spoon feed you some more wins because this is not a win for everyone. This is your win, chat. Is your win. You pulled this over the you specifically you in the chat, the wonderful, wonderful people in this chat. You pulled this over the finish line, and I'm going to show it to you really quickly here now. Because you not only did you help pull this over the finish line, you helped make someone's dreams come true, and this is all due to you. So check this out. I want you to revel in this because this is your victory, chat. Your victory. Because yesterday, this is Doc Salem Monster Hunter from yesterday. If you weren't here, I put this up on the screen because it was so close to being funded. It was so close to being funded, and it was only it was less than $200 away. Now it is over $260 over its initial goal. Dr. Salem has been funded, fully funded, and it's all thanks to you. All thanks to you. Um, and if you don't know the history about this behind this comic, it was actually a campaign that that was launched before, and unfortunately, the first time around, it failed. It didn't have enough backers. It couldn't make it couldn't meet its goal. But this time around, thanks to you, chat, thanks to everyone in the chat for your generosity and your kindness, that it is you helped it pull it over the finish line. Thank you very much. And what I was going to do, I was going to offer a free download in the description of a one-page comic I did for Doc Salem that I wrote, and I had my artist who was doing Dr. Alpha. He actually did the artwork for it. And I wrote the script for it, and I believe it's on one of the episodes of Dr. Alpha. If you want to check it out, because it's over there. I wanted to make it available to you for personal download, but I couldn't get it in time for this stream. But I think I'll work on it today, and I probably will have it for tomorrow morning. So uh, join me tomorrow morning, and there will be hopefully, if all things goes well, there will be a free download in the chat, or not in the chat, but in the description of the of tomorrow's stream, where you can download it and you can just have a digital copy of that one-page comic I did for Doc Salem. But this is amazing. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, chat. I appreciate it. This is fantastic. This is all thanks to you. You pulled us over the finish line, and another spit in the eye of the weirdos who said that these things cannot succeed, who wanted us to fail, and this is fantastic. Another great comic. He is Eston Acevedo is he's a great artist, and I really like his work. So now he has two successful campaigns, including Dog Salem, that had failed the first time, and so he persevered. It's a good showing of the merits of a persistence and perseverance, and guess what he did, chat? Because he succeeded, because it's all said and done. It's going to happen. Guess what he did? He released officially the cover for the Dr. Alpha, Doc Salem, and Six Gun Gorilla uh, crossover. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up real quick. Just let me see if I can find it first. Let me get this up here. And I think I retweeted it. One second, chat. One second. Let me go ahead and it's around here somewhere. Hey, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I got it. I got it, chat. I got it. Found it. It's fine. We'll be good to go. One second. We close this out and go ahead and open this up. And here we go. And here we go. Here's the as big as I can get it. But here's the crossover. Here's what the comic cover for the crossover, which will be this. I think what his plan is to be this. It's going to be the sequel to Doc Salem issue 1. And it's going to be the crossover event. So far, officially the first crossover event in this little community, first official one. There's been team up covers and things, but this is the first official crossover event in this little community. So, just want to show it to you. He released it officially finally, so I'm able to show you. Let's see here. Let's see here. Kavathar1138. Not to trouble LD, but so can anyone answer me? Is Dr. Alpha supposed to be pulp like Sin City? It's made from a pulp formula with twists and turns and things like that. But it's more like on the lines of the Killing Joke, with a little sprinkling of Watchmen in there. But it's one of the main inspirations is the Killing Joke. So it's not going to be like your pulp detective or anything like that, but it is going to be it's based off a pulp writing formula, pulp writing structure. Those guys were really good at making structures. So yeah, this is going to be the first crossover. Here's what the the cover looks like. Hope you enjoyed that. I quite liked it. I quite liked it. And this is the art is done by Preston Acevedo himself. I forgot who. I don't know who did the coloring, but the digital work was made by the creator of Doc Salem. And there we go. There we go. Anyway, let's see. Angel the Sword, welcome, welcome. Did you hear about the SJW NPCs crying that the Pokemon Sword and Shield creators officially revealed the tan girl is not a black person? She is a white person that has a tan. I did not. I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. This sounds fantastic. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so that's that. Now, chat. We can get to the nonsense. We can get to that the lovely, lovely nonsense. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be delicious. So, I'll save the because I have several videos and even more sequel defenders that more sequel defender videos that I think you might find pretty juicy, especially if you are fans of the original trilogy. Now, let's see here. We'll begin with. I wanted to actually want to start off with this. Here we go. This is fantastic. Another win, chat. I want to start off with another win. If you might enjoy that sort of thing. You want a second? I might pull it up. Because I want to pull this up first. So if you remember this, we went over this a few episodes ago. If you weren't here, then I'm going to go ahead and pull it up again so I can show you and explain, give you the quick rundown. So America Chavez was the one that was made of initial run, the initial SJW run by I think Gabby Rivera was she was going to be this space like an alien, but a Hispanic alien, like very on the nose there. But she comes from a planet of lesbians or something. And the first run was pretty cringy. It was a pure, sheer SJW nonsense, putting ideology over actual writing and character and story. And of course, they had to subvert the male gaze and or veer it away from the goal and everything. But then it got a relaunch. America Chavez got a relaunch. Okay, and she got a makeover. And the makeover was they made her attractive looking, and that's a huge unforgivable sin in the circles of the SJWs and the NPCs because you're not supposed to do that, chat. You're not supposed to have beautiful women in comics anymore because it appeals to the dirty, dirty, filthy men. And I want to show you. Let's see if they have a picture. Here we go. This is what she looks like now. She did not look like this in her initial run. She looked like your usual, typical frumpy, mannish, kind of like a square cardboard box look. But now she looks like a person. and I think the proper term is thicker. We'll say she looks a lot thicker and a lot truer to form. You might say also original, demonetized, and so of course the Twitter Puritans they took to their usual uh, saber rattling. And see here, why am I wrong about the ending of Watchmen? Thanks for the two, appreciate that. No worries, but need Suggs referring to my last uh oh yeah for the sorry about that so let's see talking about Batman becomes an authoritarian to counter Joker's. Well, I mean, if you're going to do that, it makes it should be organic, like where it's an escalation because Batman is a he's kind of really strict on his rules and morality. So what he did was, I mean, the Joker has to ramp things up so much that Batman has no other choice. He feels like he has no other choice because so you could take a token from the Dark Knight where he actually commits he actually well, if he were like a politician or president, he would be in violation of certain people's rights because you remember in the Dark Knight he made that machine or the device that makes everyone's cell phone into a tracker device where he can track anyone in the city by their cell phone and which is really creepy. You can actually even get like 3D models and everything from it. So uh but he was pushed to that because the Joker kept ramping things up. He kept winning. He kept outsmarting them, and he became. And if you noticed, Batman became more and more authoritarian in his pursuit of the Joker. So that's Batman's weakness. He is so dedicated to the pursuit and stopping of crime, and so dedicated to his mission that he often pushes people away or makes people angry or distances himself from people, and it damages his relationship. That's one of the flaws. He's so obsessed with crime, or so obsessed with stopping crime, so obsessed with stopping criminals, that he will actually start to almost becoming going to the dark side himself. So if you wanted to have a book or a sequel where Batman becomes an authoritarian figure to counter Joker's anarchism, then I would suggest that the real way to do that to make it organic and keep with the character of Batman, because that's important when you're trying to write something like this. You have to keep them in character. You have to maintain character consistency, and it has to be organic. So you have to take in that flaw because that is not a very good thing to be. Is become an authoritarian superhero. That's kind of what happened to Superman in the Injustice timeline. So in order for that to work without damaging Batman's character, the Joker has to really ramp up things. So the Joker has to really take things to such a degree, to such a far length of degree that Batman has no choice but to kind of implement his own version of martial law. And so yeah, just show and to put it short, Joker has to ramp things up, and the Batman will have to keep escalating his skills or escalating his responses in order to counter them. Let's see here. Okay, thank you much for that. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, the same thing. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Jacob Bradshaw, thanks for 499. Appreciate it. If she becomes from a planet of lesbians, would that natural arc be for her to fall in love with a roguish human man? I mean, it could be. That'd be really interesting because that's kind of like the arc of Wonder Woman almost. She came from a island of just women of Amazons, and so they all really got interested when a man finally showed up. So yeah, that would be an interesting arc. However, since when did SJWs do anything interesting or logical? It's going to implement and inject the politics into everything. And see, Nexus 906, thank you very much for the 5. Appreciate it. When you spend your life fighting monsters, you must be worried not to become one. Exactly. I think that's actually one of the themes of the Dark Knight. That when you stare into the abyss stares back into you. You either die a hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's that sort of scenario. So that's where you want to take it. If you wanted to make an authoritarian Batman and while keeping his character intact, that's kind of where you want to take it. Where he has to ramp things up, and he's so obsessed that he just breaks his own morals due to his obsession. He just falls for his own flaws. Let's see here. Uh, Kevathar 1138. Well, Dr. Alpha has another backer. Looking forward to it. Oh, fantastic. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to sending it out. I really want to send it out. I'm so excited to send this out. I'm so excited that I've been publishing like a 5-page updates. I really wanted. I'm just eager to produce content for this thing. It's a lot of fun. My artist having a lot of fun doing the artwork, and had a lot of fun writing it, and I'm having a lot of fun fleshing out the world. I already have the Doctor Alpha sequel. I'm already hammering that out. So I can, right after this campaign is finished, I can go ahead and launch right into the next one. And at the moment, the working title is Doctor Alpha: Heaven on Earth. Now I revealed details on it in a private stream on my subscribe star. But that's as far as I'll go in here. Is that it's going to be called Doctor Alpha: Angel on Earth, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think people will like it, especially if you dislike all the overpowered characters coming out these days. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, so this is America Chavez. This is her brand new look. And she looks actually attractive now instead of like a box or something. Say a frumpy person who works at Marvel. It's more to turn the superhero characters into themselves. They tweet on Twitter all day. They just obsess over food, and they're just frumpy, and they have the power to be ugly. I think that's what they said for She-Hulk. That's what the excuse for She-Hulk is. She finally has the power and the freedom to be ugly. Who would want that? Anyway, chat. Thomas Bailey, thanks so much for the 5. Appreciate that. Have you been deleting old streams? I missed some because of work, and I was really looking forward to. Oh yeah, something happened with the Doki Doki Literature Club stream. However, I worked on it yesterday, and it's going to be it's up already. It's actually I uploaded it already. It's just in private right now because it is rendering. I wanted to give it enough time to render. Usually, sometimes my like 15 to 30-minute videos take quite a while to render, and then before you can view it in HD. And I don't want to release it until you can view it in HD, until I'm sure you can view it in HD. So, and this is like a 3-4 hour video, and I wanted to give it enough time. So I should be releasing it later today. Just so I can be sure that I want to release it when fully formed. I want it to be fully cooked before I release it. But it is uploaded. It is fine. It's been it's okay. Everything's fine. It's ready to release. I just wanted to make sure it has enough baking time. So yeah, it's gonna be up. Unfortunately, yesterday, sometimes I can be a little over dramatic. It's a weakness of mine. Sometimes, uh, as I just got little angry, just a little bit salty yesterday because I played what a few seconds of a copyrighted music. Copyrighted music is like basically the song from the Avengers, and I knew it was copyrighted, so I muted it during the stream. But for some reason, YouTube says no. We're going to go ahead and we identified this whole like 30-second segment, and we because of that, because of the 30-second segment in this 4-hour video, this video is now ineligible for monetization, which is fine with me if it were a independent creator. But it's Marvel. I don't want Marvel to get one micro fraction of a penny from me. So I tried to fix it by saying that by doing the muting thing. Uh, but I think I might have been talking during that segment, and it would have been just the silence because they do have a section where you can just mute the song, but it says itself right there that it's in beta, and it'll take a long time, and it might not even work. I was like, okay, well, that's fantastic. I don't want that then, so I just deleted the whole thing. But I do have the recording though, so I might be able to upload it in the future. It's just I have to download it and everything, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I just do this out of like sheer defiance because on my unfortunate rebellious nature. I just deleted the whole thing. I said, well, if I can't if I can have it, if I have to do all this stuff, well then Marvel can't benefit either. Okay, I don't want Marvel to benefit from my 4-hour video, and so I deleted the whole thing. But I'll be careful this time. I don't really know why they caught it because I played what a few seconds of it and then realized what happened, and then I just muted it. And for some reason, they caught the whole thing. So yeah, I just went ahead and deleted it. But the Doki Doki Literature Club stream part 2 will be up hopefully sometime today. Hopefully sometime today. Let's see here. Hex Harper, thank you much for the 5. Appreciate it. Atrocity Guide made a great video about Phoenix Jones recently. Perfectly encapsulates the hero becoming what he fought against. Well, that's interesting. I never heard of Phoenix Jones, and if that's true, that's really something to look into. I like those types of stories. Interesting stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. Manlusmand 2030. Asura's Wrath is just great. He punches God. I heard about Asura's Wrath. I've watched some videos on it. I really like the concept. I like the epic feel of it. How it's so grand, and it's very like a old school, like a what I see of old school Japanese or anime, that sort of thing. I know it has a lot of different mythologies in there. Let's see. Jin Flyer. Did you know do you know who Vara Dark is? She's an anti-SJW YouTuber that got dogpiled on Twitter because she said Jill in Resident Evil 3 should have had her original skirt. Crazy SJWs. I heard that controversy where someone said it, where someone said, where someone complained that they gave her like they toned her down or something, where it wasn't the exact same outfit. They gave her a skirt instead of a skirt. But I didn't know the name, so I never heard of Vara Dark. But that sounds interesting. It's interesting. I'll look into that after the stream. Let's see here. Anyway, Chad. Anyway, let's see. So yeah, this is what America Chavez looks like in her new redesign. And of course, we have the SJWs and the NPCs going to Twitter to saber battle and chastising as they usually do. And I think I'm blocked now because I can't really see them all. Let's see here. Let's see. But they started complaining. They started complaining. They started complaining. I think this one right here, where they might have deleted it or they might have blocked me. Whatever. America Chavez is cool now. She's not like those silly SJW characters with their covered bodies. I respect women and respect for women. You could read it too. Yeah, so they're all calling you, of course, the usual istophobe stuff. That's what they're doing. They're calling you istophobes, and they're really angry that America Chavez looks like an actual human being instead of some sort of grotesque, this deformed weirdo. That is shaped so like she can repel men who are a very large part of the Western comic buyers. A very large part, which is it's like a is it well, I mean, it's just as idiotic as creating Star Wars movies and wanting to alienate Star Wars fans. It's just ridiculous. So I want to show you this first because this is what I love about artists. This is what I think true artists should do. Okay, this next thing. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. This is fantastic. So where the SJWs, of course, took to Twitter to grandize and to lecture you morally, the artists were busy getting to work being artists, being real artists, not the this is my work and you better like it or else sort of artists, but the real artists, the ones who are supposed to critique the status quo, supposed to be the contrarians of the mainstream culture, trying to give a new perspective. So here's what happened after this. Here's the artist's response. It's like how there's so many artists gathered around after Safe Space and Snowflake came out and made numerous redesigns of them. Same thing here. So a bunch of artists came together and pretty much said, "Okay, SJWs, you say that the new redesign of America Chavez is too sexualized. Well, how about we do this? After new America Chavez design called over sexualized, artists put a bunny twist on the Marvel Comics character. So a bunch of artists came together and put a new spin on America Chavez. They put her in like a Playboy bunny outfit." And sheer defiance of these weirdos. And I just love this stuff. I thought this was another win. People are tired of this. They're tired of kowtowing and bending the knee to these weirdos. And finally, after years of the weirdos crying and the artists going, okay, 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 we'll stop. Artists are no longer doing that. Now, when they start crying, they go, okay, you think she's over sexualized? How about we'll sexualize her even more? How about that? Which is what you should do. What you should do to SJWs. This You're supposed to do the opposite of what they want. You're supposed to make them angry because they're terrible, terrible people. They're terrible, terrible people. Chat. Awful, awful. The worst examples of humanity right now. So here it is. So yeah, they gave here's some examples here, chat. There's come out with some bunny stuff. They even gave her an American flag, which is even better because you know how much these SJWs and NPCs hate America and capitalism, but love the Last Jedi. So here you go. You have a you have the bunny outfit America Chavez, and you have her this. They made it even more sexualized. They say, "Well, oh, you gave me some cakes and stuff." There you go. Uh, Dang, Carlos, you gave me cakes. And so they gave her like a huge posterior. They made her thick. They made her thick, chat, and they made her thicker and thicker and thicker just to make them angry. Here's another. Look at this one, chat. This one does not give one one care to the world. They put her in like a full American style bunny outfit. This is okay. Okay, SJWs. You said that she was too sexualized. This is what she looks like now. Okay, this is what she looks like now. This is your new America Chavez. Okay, I wish they would take like this design and put it in the. She has high heels and all this stuff. This is everything they hate. Everything they America. Her actually looking like a woman. Uh, well, her being, we'll say, well endowed, all that stuff. So I really wish they would actually actually make a third redesign or a second redesign and use this one instead. So that would really make them angry, and that's what their goal is anyway. That's what the HW's goal is anyway, to make us angry, chat, to make us angry, to make stories that make us angry deliberately, and then laugh at us as we wave our fists impotently at their power. Which is why they hate movements that counteract that, like Gamergate and Comicgate, because it takes away their power, and they can no longer saber rattle, they can no longer laugh at you because we're off making our own things. Back to 702. Thank you very much for the 10. Appreciate that. Awesome, awesome. The hard reality of comics is that sexuality attracts both men and women. Also, FYI, Donny Cates reached out to EVS on one of his live streams. Yes, we'll be covering that. We'll be covering that. That's the chat voted on it, and so I shall graciously oblige. But yeah, beautiful women they're appealing to both men and women. Oddly enough, they attract both men and women for different reasons, but they're both attracted to it. It's like how attractive, muscly men are attractive to not only women but also men. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not just his fan base does not consist of only women. Okay, he has a huge male fan base because he's awesome and charismatic, and he's very manly, and men want to be him. He want to be that. Men want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger with his giant muscles and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So everyone likes that. Men like Arnold Schwarzenegger, women like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It goes both ways. Okay, people like attractive people. People like attractive, charismatic people. It's just how it's done, and we want our heroes to be like the how the Greek gods, or not the Greek gods, but how the Greeks viewed their heroes. We want them to be perfection. We want them to be physically idealized, both male and female heroes, unless their power is different. Unless their power is like the Blob or something from X-Men, then otherwise we want them to have physical ideals, and so physically attractive, and they can vary on the personality, but virtuous, have some sort of virtues that make them good, that make them heroes, and not the type to get flirted with and then snap their necks or something, but actual heroes. Kind of it's kind of strange to imagine now, but yeah, having their heroes look good and be good, rather than just out there for the author's personal vendetta. So, chat. So, I just want to show you this because I found this hilarious. Because this is what I like, chat. And I don't mean just the redesign. I mean artists doing what artists should be doing, which is defying these weirdos who have taken over the mainstream. This is what my channel is all about. This is what my channel has this highlighting what happened to the modern artist. Okay, what exactly happened to the modern artist? By the way, I'm actually redoing a. You're the first to know, but I'm actually remastering that uh, that that channel that trailer because other people have asked me, "Well, where's the rest of the video?" So I decided to make the trailer again, but adding a little more substance to it. So I can adding some substance, some examples, and going over. It's going to be a very short video, but I think you'll like it. It's going to be adding in. It's going to be addressing what the what I mean exactly when I say it, because my original trailer just kind of talks about it, but there's no substance behind it to back my words up, and I'll be doing that this time. And I've been working on that one too, as well as the video on Star Trek Picard and how to preserve and respect and end properly a legacy character. Anyway, Tyler Preston, thank you much for 5. Appreciate that. When will there be a storyline where America Chavez discovers she's a bisexual? Now that'd be interesting. Now to get back to this, it'd be very interesting if she's learned that she was a bisexual and not just a lesbian. If this were America Chavez, I quite like the American flag look. It's a peel. It's growing on me, chat. It's growing on me. I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm really liking this American flag bunny outfit redesign. I think it's very patriotic. You know what I mean? Very, very patriotic. Awesome stuff. Let's see. Uh, Ken Kaneki, this is what my channel's all about. Shows booty. Not that one. Not that in particular, but artists rebelling against what they're being told to do. Artists rebelling against the guidelines, against the road they're supposed to be walking down. So the mainstream says you walk down this road and nothing else. For example, the SJWs say you walk down this road, you do what we say, you obey our laws, or you're going to be in trouble. And the proper artist, should be coming out and saying, I'm going to be walking a different path. I'm not going to be following your silly little rules. And they didn't. And that's why this is I love to see this stuff. This is why I love to see this stuff, because these artists are being artists. They're being artists. They are taking in the input from the mainstream people who run the mainstream right now, which is the SJW weirdos, and they are purposely acting out against them. It's like Marilyn Manson. It's like David Bowie did before them. Da Vinci, Shakespeare. They either speak out against the status quo, or they make things that commentate on society as a whole, which is the artist's job. They're the contrarians or the commentators. They take many positions, but usually they are outside of society. There's outside society looking in. It's why the artists, many artists have that weird, that little stigma of them being strange or eccentric. And this even runs in the writer circles. A lot of the best writers are so eccentric and weird. You take Alan Moore, Frank Miller, even Neil Gaiman is a little different than your average person. It's kind of run of the mill. That's why, because they're true artists. That's why I can tell who the true artists are, and this is what true artists do. And I love seeing this stuff for that reason. It's fantastic, fantastic. As a Harry Schroeder, I do like the fact that her redesign is more curvy. Art is a visual medium after all. Should it at least be attractive to look at? Yeah, it should be. But the SJWs and the NBCs, they were more along the lines of modern art fans or the brutalist art fans. And they don't believe in beauty. They believe in ugliness because they're ugly from the inside out. Now, chat, I'll give you one more choice, okay? Here's the next choice you can make. Do you want to go ahead and cover a few more things? Like they actually, Bounding into Comics actually finally released a article on what we covered yesterday with Doomcock, with the Avar and the High Republic. You want to do that? We have a Ray article, which I think is going to be very interesting to cover. Or Do you want to go ahead and jump right into the Donny Cates confrontation with the EVS, and then we can continue from there? We have so much chat. We have so much. So I'm giving you the choice. Give me the choice here. So you want to go right into Donny Cates conversation with Ethan Sciver, or do you want to go ahead and move on to another article before we get into that? We will cover it, chat, but I'll give you the choice now. Do you want to cover it now, or do you want to wait for a little bit later? I'll give you the choice. Give me a few seconds here. Give me a few seconds here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Because we can do either. We can do either. Let's see. So okay. So EVS, do it, do it, do it. Okay. Avar is yes. Avar is the bestest ever. Oh, let's see. So Ray, Donny Cates. Okay. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and cover. We'll walk through this Star Wars: The High Republic, and then we'll do the Donny Cates video, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to another article, and once we get to a certain point, we'll go ahead and cover at least one of the Star Wars defenders that I have in roster. So we'll cover them. We'll cover them, chat. We're just voting on the order. Let's see here. So we'll go ahead and we'll do this. We'll go ahead and pull this up. Let's see here. We'll look into this for ourselves because Doom Cop covered it, but it'd be interesting if we can read this for ourselves. Let's see here. And here we go. So this is what I was talking about last time. What are they going to do with Yoda? What are they going to do with Yoda? So here we go. Star Wars introduces Jedi Knight Avar Kriss as brightest, most noble example of Jedihood, and forgets about Yoda, obviously, because Yoda's a filthy, filthy man. Can't have a filthy, filthy man being the bestest ever, because the Force, as you know, as you will know, is female. So here we go. Star Wars recently introduced a number of characters appearing in their upcoming publishing initiative, Star Wars: The High Republic. The first character introduced is Avar Kriss. See, this I told you a long time ago, and that the stream is still up. And I told you this. That the SJWs and NPCs, they started off trying to take over Star Wars by taking over the original trilogy saga. Okay, they try to take over the original trilogy, the saga of the original trilogy, which met with huge backlash. So huge, in fact, that it kind of killed the franchise. However, however, they found since that was an absolute failure, and they just didn't succeed. It was a plane crash essentially. They they took a few. They went back to the drawing board. They made a few more thoughts. They with the one brain cell they have to share, and what they did was they came up with a horrific idea, which is horrific because it might be fairly effective, and it's fairly effective because they found a nice, juicy, vulnerable part in the Star Wars franchise, in the Star Wars saga. And nothing is more uh nothing is more dangerous in a franchise like Star Wars than ambiguity. Places in the history like the Old Republic. And the Old Republic was great because it did right by Star Wars. It actually respected the medium, or actually respected the franchise. But these people are nefarious. They are not here with good intentions. They're here to ruin Star Wars. And they found a nice, soft, vulnerable, fleshy part of Star Wars, and now they can make a little bacteria colony with with very little offensive or very little pushback, because this is not they're not interfering with legacy characters. They're making their own characters in their own timeline, or not their own timeline, but their own little section of Star Wars history that has not been mapped out yet, and they made it purposely close enough. Okay, it was close enough that they can still sort of at a distance snipe at the original continuity, the original trilogy. And so it's perfect, chat. It's perfect for them. They're this close enough to ruin everything, and just far enough away to avoid a lot of backlash. And they might be able to ruin characters like Yoda and everything. For contrast, let's see, KOTOR, I think Rancho Republic did the same thing, but first of all, it was good, and second of all, It was very, very far in the past. I think what it was like 1,000 years or so, thousands of years. They could have done that too, but they didn't because 1,000 years is not close enough where they can ruin things. They could ruin things from afar. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Angel of the Sword. There was already a female of Yoda's race who used an orange lightsaber. She was a character in the comics who only fought when it was absolutely necessary. These people are always always wrong. Yeah, they are always wrong. That's their job is to be wrong because if they're right, then they kind of stop being SJWs. Let's see here. Okay, so insult to the human race, thing much with five. Next, they'll announce that slavery was a-okay during the Republic's time or something. Yeah, you think? Yeah, I'll say that slavery was fine. They're there to ruin things, chat. They're here not to make stories, but to make us angry. That's all they want to do. They want to make products that tout their philosophies, tout their toxic political ideologies and opinions, and then ruin everything that no one wants to buy. And it's been proven that no one wants to buy them. And but mostly, first and foremost, believe it or not, first and foremost is not to actually push their ideology. First and foremost is to make us angry. That's what they want to do. They want to trigger us. That's the real goal here. And they've said this. They've outright said this on several occasions. Not me just making it up. I was one of the most recent examples is the Star Trek Picard showrunner saying that he purposely put things in the show that um, that would make Star Trek fans angry. He did that on purpose because he called Star Trek fans like racists and the usual stuff they call you istophobes, basically istophobes, and that's why he wanted to make you angry because all these Star Trek fans, the legacy and the OG Star Trek fans, like sort of like myself a little bit. I came in during TNG. Well, not even during TNG, but okay, I started off with TNG. I started off with TNG. That was my first Star Trek series, and I've been a fan of Star Trek for almost all my life. So I'm really invested in the franchise. So but they want to he wants to make fans like me and people who really enjoy the franchise angry, and they outright say this. Chat, they're here to do just that. So here we go. Avar Chris. On StarWars.com, Chris is described as the brightest, most noble example of Jedihood. This I don't know about you, Chet, but this reads Mary Sue to me. Judging by going by the empirical data I've seen in the current era of Star Wars, when they say something like this, when they describe a female character, female Jedi like this, the bestest and brightest, bestest ever, then you know this reads like they're going to just go ahead and jump in with yet another blatant and shameless Mary Sue. That's what it reads to me. CWD Trixie. Forgot who covered it, but after going through the character descriptions, turns out they have more Sith traits than Jedi. So, oh no, of course they do. Of course they do. These people are villains. These people identify more with villains. They hate heroes. They hate traditional heroes as much as villains hate traditional heroes. And that's why they have Captain Marvel and gave people like Captain Marvel villainous traits and still called her a hero. That's why they idolize Harley Quinn, who is a villain. Okay, they're trying to make her like the face of the DC universe, despite her being a villain. She's a villain. Okay, she's not there to be idolized. She's there to maybe be pitied a little bit, maybe, or used to be before they quote unquote emancipated her. But yeah, she's not a hero. She's a villain, and and Harley Quinn is the person they want to idolize and for people to look up to. Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, all the villainesses. So yeah, these people identify more with the dark side, the villainous side of things on in every franchise they're involved in. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so here we go. They describe her as the best of the best. She wields a green lightsaber, has medium-length blonde hair, and wears a white garb with a yellow cloak. She has brown gloves and boots atop her white outfit. She sports a yellowish-brown tabard. It's all tied together with a brown belt. If you remember this, this is the same series. If in case you've forgotten, where the drawing room, the writers' room, had a board that had like diversity twice in two different columns, representation. They're not going to, uh, emphasize war or to do pro war. And it almost has me thinking of what if I took that writing board and I did all the opposite, because they're telling us what SJWs want to see in a story, and that's exactly what I don't want to put in there. I don't want to make them happy chat. Some of them might be fine, but you know, taking those in, I'm pretty sure they're doing it wrong because SJWs do nothing but wrong the wrong way to do it. Anyway, let's see here. Anyway, here we go. Yellowish belt. So this is the Darth Karen or whatever Darth Karen. Let's see here. Dubious Nico, are you okay with me turning the chat to memes? I guess memes aren't that bad. It's just as long as it doesn't get us taken down from YouTube, it's fine. As long as it doesn't get us in trouble, chat. You can meme to your heart's content. That's what I like. Jokes and humor is fine. Just as long as we don't get YouTube doesn't take us down, that's fine. Then it's fine. Let's see here. Punished Berserker. Thank you much for the 2. Appreciate it. That's nice, but what's your cup size? Yeah, it's 0. It's an F, or not an F actually. It's like a whatever. If they had a letter before A, it would be that. It would be that. If they had a letter before A, it would be that because she can't. These characters cannot have sex appeal. Okay, in order to fit in with their ideology, they can't appeal to the male gaze. They just can't. This is why the redesign of America Chavez was so triggering to SJWs because they made her look like a woman, and they can't have women looking like women in an SJW comic. They have to look like men. Uh, they have to look like men. This person looks like a male anime protagonist. It's like a male anime protagonist in some of those some sort of manga series or something. Noble Commando. I'm going to make Darth Karen in Photoshop. Fantastic. uh, let's see here. Yeah. So, yeah. This is a man. This looks like a man. It's like a very kind of like an old school like King Arthur sort of man. It does not look like a woman at all. There's no hips. There's no feminine features. There's just a face that looks more masculine than feminine, or a mix. And then like King Arthurian hair. I can see this person playing Lancelot in King Arthur. That non-gender swapped Lancelot. Because there's something I really wanted to cover. Hopefully we can get to it. I really hope we can get to it. But this one is they're attacking something else that we enjoy, or that I personally enjoyed. Something I really personally enjoy. That they're going to just ruin this. I have no idea why they're going to ruin this franchise. With apparently it's popular enough where they've gone through so many popular franchises already. They're just going after ones that already aren't in the highlight anymore, but are still popular. And hopefully we can get to it. But before that, here's her full description. Avar is the bestest and most noble example of Jedihood. She always tries to see the good in people and situations and never puts herself first. She is invigorated about life on the frontier and the challenges it brings, and is an inspiration for those who work with her. She is compassionate, not dogmatic. Well, why did you make her then? She's just the opposite of you, and always already to sacrifice herself for others. Avar Chris is the best of the best. Chris's stories will take place in the High Republic. The High Republic is expected to take place 200 years before the event of the Phantom Menace. Okay, it's a time when the Jedi are still exploring the Outer Rim. Vice President of Franchise Content and Strategy James Way describes the setting. Okay, let's see what the setting is then. This was a golden age for the Jedi, and also a time of galactic expansion in the Outer Rim. So expect there to be rich tales of exploration, charting out the galaxy, meeting new cultures, and discovering that what pioneer life in Outer Rim was like. This is an incredible sandbox for our storytellers to play in, both within publishing and beyond. And we can't wait to see great fiction they build within it. I can't wait either, Chad. I personally cannot wait either. Mainly because I think when some of these comics we've been covering come out, one of these horrific nightmare fueled comics finally make their debut for purchase, I think I shall get some, and I'll go ahead and cover them on Morning Nonsense because there will no doubt be chock full of endless nonsense. Just endless nonsense. It's going to be fantastic. I think we're going to all enjoy it. So Gogeta 387, she has sternly worded letter and ready to be unleashed upon all transgressors in the galaxy. Yes, fear Jedi Darth Karen's firmly worded letter to your manager. I can see her meeting up with a Sith Lord or something and says, "Let me speak to your manager," and then that's how she defeats him. It's like how Captain Marvel was supposed to defeat Thanos by speaking to his manager. I see Criminal Imagination, thank you very much for the 5. I really appreciate that. I will never get over this, but Elric of Melvin Bonet called. He wants his everything back. You can keep the sappy clothes. Sappy clothes. He said. Oh yeah, that's a very good. You must be a fan of Razor Fist. On that note, I have something else to ask you, chat. Hold on. Now, Razor Fist. Speaking of Razor Fist, because Razor Fist is the person who actually introduced me to Elric of Melvin Bonet, and I have not regretted it since. I just dove deep into buying the content of Elric of Melniboné, and I quite enjoyed it. I got the Ruby Throne comic, and that one was fantastic. The art was great. I loved the initial storyline. It's it was a little too grand scale for me in the beginning, but then it narrowed down, and that was fantastic. It was wonderful stuff. Very very dark. I liked it, and but Razor Fist recently released a video just roasting Angry Joe for about 20 or so minutes. It's fantastic. It's blow after blow after blow because Angry Joe thought he could, participate in a game of wits and a match of wits with Razor Fist. Angry Joe, the guy who tops out his his insult arsenal at calling you dumb. That's it. That's all you can do. Call you dumb. Razor Fist will just lay down a tirade of very clever, well worded insults to you. We'll just string them together and end this tirade. But I'm asking you if you wanted to cover it or not because it's another video, and it's not something we usually cover here on Morning Nonsense. And I wouldn't normally cover it because it goes into politics and that gets kind of dirty. But it just lambasts Angry Joe. And if you're interested in that, then I'll make an exception this time. But you let me know because if you don't want to see it, then absolutely we will not cover it because it's not usually something we cover here. This YouTube drama stuff, we don't really need that YouTube drama stuff. But it was it's Razor Fist, fantastic. I really enjoy Razor Fist, his dive into pulp and everything. It's great. So if you want to take a look at it, we can. If we don't, perfectly fine. We have plenty more stuff to go over. Rocket and Sandwich for $1.99. I need a Black Templars Crusade to purge this. I kind of just wanted to. I kind of just want to see all these SJW characters die. I just want to see them die. I just want to see them lose to some awesome Sith Lord or something. Okay, so I'm not sure we'll get to it today. Hopefully we can. There's so much stuff to go over, chat. There's so much stuff, so little time. No Commando. Angry Joe has gone woke. He's been woke since the 2016, where Angry Joe went on a stream and called everyone who voted for Trump Nazis and racists. So he's gone full woke. And he's been woke for a while now. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. So yeah, you can have fun in the chat if you want to, as long as we don't get taken down. As long as that doesn't go too extreme. I remember we were going on Yellow Flash and having fun messing with the Duvernay test, And then some people went racist with it, and we had to shut it down. So don't do that racist stuff. We don't want that here. Okay, that's not where we're going with. But jokes, just uh, little jokes and things. That's fine. That's fine. Anyway, so the one servant of Satania who wishes Minland had won. Some people just want to see the SJW cinematic world burn. I know I do. I know I do. Okay. Because I used to like Angry Joe too until 2016 came along, and then everyone I once liked went full woke. Anyway, let's see here. What else we have here? Yeah, she's not dogmatic. She's the best in people. Chris's story will take place in discovering the Outer Rim, and let's see what's this. Thus, Yoda would be around during the time of the High Republic, because it's only 200 years before the Phantom Menace. So, would be during the time of the High Republic, and most likely trained Avar Kriss, or at very least knows who did. Given Yoda would be alive at this time, it's hard to imagine another Jedi being the brightest and most noble example of Jedihood. Well, obviously, what they're going for is they're going to have Yoda in here, and he's going to be like this lost little sheep that Avar Kriss kind of instills her wisdom into. Alex Halo, Angry Joe would blow up Canada if he was president. I'm referencing a video. Oh yeah, I think that I remember that one. He wanted to nuke Canada. But yeah, Angry. It was funny because Angry Joe tried to match wits with Razor Fist, and Angry Joe is not equipped for that. It's kind of like it's kind of like this. It's kind of like if you ever played Civilization and you have a civilization it's still in the Stone Age, fighting a civilization that is in the space age. It's kind of like that matchup. Razor Fist, of course, being the space age civilization, and Angry Joe being the Stone Age civilization. It is not. It's not going to turn out good for Angry Joe, and it didn't. He just got absolutely obliterated by Razor Fist. So let's see. Best and brightest. Nevertheless, that's how Star Wars describes Avar Kriss, and appears to fit in with what the Disney version of Lucasfilm has been doing to Star Wars over the past couple of years. They've been radically attempting to alter and in many cases destroy some of their own iconic characters. Just look at what they did to Luke Skywalker. Look how they massacred my boy, in The Last Jedi. They had him contemplating a premeditated murder, and he even got to the point where he drew his lightsaber on his own nephew. Then, after Ben Solo abandons the Jedi, Luke decides to close himself off to the Force, an impossibility given the definition of the Force, and hide himself away, leaving his nephew to be further corrupted by the dark side. The destruction of Yoda also began in Rian Johnson's Last Jedi, as they show him tapping into the dark side of the Force and using Force lightning to destroy the Jedi Temple. Well, in all fairness, he didn't use Force lightning specifically. He kind of summoned lightning from the sky and burn down the Jedi Temple. It was still awful. It was still terrible. But on that particular note, he didn't like shock lightning from his hands or anything. He just kind of used nature and as kind of like a druidic kind of lightning rather than a dark side sort of lightning. But it was still awful. It didn't take away from the awfulness of that scene. They had to include Yoda, didn't they? And it ruined him too. Punish Berserker, thank you much for the 5. Perturb Pedro, Razor Fist wears a leather jacket, lol. So do you. Every angry review. Congratulations, you played yourself. Yeah, he does. Is that leather? He does wear a jacket every single review, though. So I don't see what the difference is. It's just that Razor Fist has leather. And Angry Joe's might be leather, might be some synthetic fabric, but he wears a jacket too. He has no room to talk on that on that point. Anyway, appreciate that. Let's see here. In fact, Star Wars' own website describes Force Lightning as a dark side ability. It reads Force Lightning as dark ability. Okay, dark abilities, dark side ability, instruction of the characters. Okay, so what is this now? So Lord Greatstorm is a Twi'lek. Like Chris, he wears white robes with the golden accessories. He also has a yellow cloak. His lightsaber appears to be yellow. Okay, I think what yellow sent. This one is strange, but we'll get to that in a second. Here's the official description. Loden is a Twi'lek master and is considered to be one of the best teachers in the Jedi Order, strong and wise. with a good sense of humor. Loden looks at every moment as a learning experience. Why everyone is so positive? It's disgusting. Why is everyone so positive? It's always positive, happy, best this, best that. Okay, good characters are not just positive characters. It's not Barney the dinosaur. Okay, even Barney the dinosaur had 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 like problems and stuff. Okay, so that's how they made their episodes. And then people feeling sad and stuff. You ever seen Mr. Medicare and in his songs, the song he uses? That's why they have the. That's why they. If you're feeling sad, or whatever song, everything is so positive. Give me some edge here. Give me some opposite of that. Give me some darkness. Give me some flaws here. That's what I'm interested in. I don't care if they're the best and brightest and have good sense of humor. I don't care. What are they going to do? Are they also do they also like what space smoothies? I don't care. Okay. He's strong and wise. Okay, good. Now where's the other part? Where's the part that contrasts that? He's strong and wise and has a murderous tendency. He's strong and wise, but is tempted by the dark side. He's strong and wise, but he has a dark past. Or he's strong and wise, and he has a vendetta he left behind him. Like maybe he was out for revenge, fell into almost failed, almost died, fell into the Jedi Order, and put that aside. Just put that aside. Okay, give me something interesting. Usually you have like well, he's a strong, wise teacher who has a secret vendetta. Okay, that makes it interesting because you have contrast here. You have a depth. They don't give depth here. It's all just positivity, rosy cheeks, and sunflowers all the way through. Let's see now. Let's see. Good sense of humor looks at every moment as learning experience. Oh, how lovely! Always trying to better himself and those around him, especially his Padawans. And okay, now this is full HW. This is they're not even they had it's like they needed a third character, and they said, oh, we don't care anymore. Just put one of us in there. Every time you see this haircut, like one side is long and then you have a shaved side of the head, that is an indicator of SJW ness. It's one of the signs. Kind of like another sign might be uh, like dyed hair or the color fuchsia. Fuchsia being a color code color for SJW stories. Let's see here. Keeve Trennis wears white and brown robes and wields a double-bladed green lightsaber. Here's the official description. Keeve is a young firebrand Jedi believed to have a great future. How much do you want to bet that they're going to turn around in this comic book and then have her talk about racial issues for a little bit and then continue with the story? Because they always have to do that. They always have to do that. Let's see. Keeve is a young firebrand Jedi believed to have a great future ahead of her. If only she would believe in herself. Quick-witted and more impulsive than she should be. Keeve has only been a Jedi Knight for a few weeks, and she's only been a Jedi Knight for a few weeks, and is a little starstruck around Avar. Of course she is, because oh no. Okay, so Avar is going to have constant emotional validation. So Avar is a self-insert. This is the best friend. This is probably the soy boy version of their the friend group. And so she's going to be emotionally validating Avar at every turn. And knowing many of the great things Chris has done in the past, she is determined to prove herself to Avar and other legendary Jedi stationed on Starlight Beacon. That's a Starlight Bacon. I bet you they want some Starlight Bacon. They always love food. But first, she must learn to trust in herself as much as she trusts in the Force. So Stellan Gios. Now this guy should be the main character. This guy looks like a man. He's got that chiseled jaw. He has that. He has an actual. He has a lightsaber with an actual guard, not a lightsaber guard that can cut your own fingers off. This guy looks like leading man material. He's got the shoulders back. He has good posture. He looks like he can ride in and save the day. This guy looks like he's right out of King Arthur. Let's see here. Daniel Lindsay. Because it's a series for children, I mean, I remember Aaron, a smuggler with a dark past who uh, has skills not like your normal smuggler. Yeah, I mean, you can have. It's because it's a series for children does not mean it's they can this all has to be positivity all the time. I've seen many series for children, or in the past series for children that have complex characters. I mean, Avatar: Last Airbender, you could argue, is for all ages, including children, and it has very complex characters, very dark moments. Okay, the children are not just there for Barney the dinosaur. Okay, they can take darker things. They just can't. There's some things they can't take. There's some things you shouldn't show children at early development, but they can take complexity. Children are not. They know they're being talked down to, and you shouldn't talk down to children, which is kind of a misconception with modern artists and things these days. But anyway, Dog Rockin' Taylor for $1.99. Appreciate that. Me, my college professor, my ex, my best friend. Oh, exactly. That's what, because they don't know how to write personalities. They know how to write with the people they know, and that's it. They don't do the due diligence. They don't people watch. They don't gain the skills required to actually do the work that they're supposed to be doing. Let's see here. Zofret's not fairness. I like the close design. Well, I do too. It's the strange way that they're presented. It's weird because this guy looks like he's out of King Arthur. I really do like the King Arthur uh, angle they have on this. Knights of the Round Table. But I know they're going to mess it up. But I really do. Yeah, their outfits are interesting. Their outfits are interesting. It's unfortunate that these characters are going to be in the hands of these weirdos. Dresios V, thank you much for the 5. Appreciate that. It's almost like each character is as perfect as Disney princess is a perfect Disney princess, and that all conflict in the story is going to come from antagonists being pure evil. You're not going to have any interpersonal clashes or anything like that. If they clash, it's going to be against Avar probably, and or Kiev, and it's always going to be the Kiev or Avar who is in the right, and the men are going to be relegated elsewhere. Okay, so we have other characters who I don't know who this is, but we're just going to go ahead and move on. We kind of get the gist about it. So let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and watch this. At least we'll start it. I'm not sure we'll watch the whole thing. We'll see how far we get. But here is the Donny Cates versus Ethan Van Sciver, as you requested that we go ahead and watch. So let's go ahead and check it out. I think it's pretty hilarious.
What's up?
All right, let's take a look at the campaigns that we've got going on right now. We got a voicemail. Hold on a second.
You can listen to it. Just mute.
Hold on, transcribing voicemail. It's literally 2 seconds long.
I guess who it is, Chad. Guess who was the one leaving him a voicemail? It's
No, I'm not calling.
It's one of the people calling you Nazi on the internet.
All right, hold on. I'll call him real quick.
I'm going to send him the link.
Hold on.
Sent.
Don't send him the link.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Oh, now he's doing it to me.
148.
The infinite screen. So you can
I had to do a Miller song there. Oh!
Move forward a little bit. Gotta feel every time you move forward. Every time you watch a video through StreamYards, you have to move forward a little bit. And when you move forward a little bit, it runs out of internet gas. It takes all of its internet gas to switch things up. So you got a little bit. Wait a little bit. Wait for it to refill its internet gas.
All right, so Cyber Frog, Unforgettable Tales, Dan. The campaign's still cruising. All right, hold on. Hey, Donny Cates.
Ethan.
Here it is.
Good, I'm live right now. Like, people can hear you, so I'm warning you.
So he's saying, "Hey, I'm live right now. People can hear you, so I'm warning you right now." He's giving him a warning. Okay? Before you say anything funny, I'm going to go ahead and warn you. It's just fair because you guys like an audience of like 1,000 people watching him at the moment, which is a pretty big thing to take in if you are someone who's like Donny Cates, who is trying to walk the thin line out of desperation between his SJW friends and Ethan Van Sciver and Comicsgate.
You of that right now? Like I'm actually doing a live stream right now. You want to say hi to Comicsgate?
Well, I would prefer if you and I could have a private conversation. I really
Would you like to say hi to Comicsgate? I would prefer if we could have a. I would prefer we could have a private conversation. I bet you would. I bet you would. This is why they hate being quote tweeted. Chat. Have you ever gotten a fight on Twitter with an SJW or NPC? They absolutely detest being quote tweeted because they do not like being responsible for their own words. They want you to have chats in private. They want to take you to a side and then berate you where they can control the situation. They do not like to be able. They do not like being in a situation where their words are being highlighted for the opposition. They do not like that. That's why they don't really like YouTube all that much, and they prefer the grounds of Twitter where you can just block people. But yeah, of course he wants a private conversation. Of course he does. Can't just talk to the big bad man who must not be named in public, because then you're saying that he's public now. You come on to Ethan Van Sciver's stream, you are the enemy. And that's it. You can't have that. Even though Cates has no job anymore, or is getting close to having no job. That's it. A private conversation. He just wants to talk with Ethan Van Sciver. He wants to manipulate him behind the scenes.
really would.
Well, I can't because I'm having a very public conversation. But if you want to say hi, Comicsgate, they could hear you right now, and they'd be very happy. 2,000 people.
Well, I'd like to have a conversation with you.
They get Donnie. Okay, all right, Donnie. I'll call you a little bit later. All right.
No, you understand. This is just, hey, look, I'm not bothered by it. It's just that you kind of sprung it on me. Is all.
Just say hi, Comicsgate. These are fans, Donnie. These are people that buy your book. Say hi, Comicsgate.
Well,
why would you do that?
I got.
Let's see here. Tyler Preston, Mahler, and IHE did a recorded one-on-one conversation that was released to the public. Well, you know what? That's true. That happens. That actually happens. And you know who else did? I did. So yeah, you have that to look forward to. I actually defended Avatar: The Last Airbender to Mahler, and that was a recorded in private, which will be released to the public. I don't know when, but I guess he's still editing it because it was a long conversation. It lasted hours. He's a long man after all. But I just had fun. I just had fun defending the last Airbender. Sometimes I had to go to lengths where I had to kind of surmise because a lot of his not nitpicks. I don't want to say nitpicks. They weren't, but a lot of his criticisms were like instances, like little instances, were as strange and funny, but aren't actually explaining the show. So I had to come up with a defense for it because I just thought that was fun. But yeah, sometimes I felt like one of these defenders of Last Jedi because I just want to see if I can drum up a defense. But some things I did find defensible. Sometimes I said some things I just couldn't explain or defend in the least because Avatar: The Last Airbender is great. I would consider it a masterpiece, but no masterpiece is perfect. And there are problems with the Avatar: Last Airbender, but they're usually overlooked. It's usually forgivable because everything else is so fantastic and top notch. But yeah, that's a thing that can happen. Even Ethan Van Sciver and Donny Cates can have a recorded conversation in private, and then it can be released. I don't see a problem with that. That way, it doesn't have to be. You can say, I don't want it to be released, or it can be edited, or whatever. You can, or you can just take out the highlights over certain talking points, or you can just release it raw. It doesn't matter. But let's see here.
Nothing but love for people who want to support good and honest comics. I'll say that.
Then you love Comicsgate.
But
Then you love Comicsgate.
You love Comicsgate. That's what Comicsgate is.
That's Fragaboom. That's a Fragaboom. He actually was an successful comic book pro who switched over. He left. He jumped ship and went and dove fully into Comicsgate because he didn't like this SJW stuff. Like he didn't play ball. like everyone else who said, "Okay, I don't want. I'm too timid to fight against SJWs, so I'm just going to play ball." Dan Fraga did not, and he said, "You know what? The right thing to do is jump ship and join these guys because all the people who love comics are all over here now, and that's what they're saying." Donny Cates, say hi to Comicsgate, and then he says, "I'll say hi to anyone who likes comics." Uh, that wasn't the case last year, was it, Donny Cates? Okay, this first of all, that was definitely not the case last year. That was definitely not the case when you had a secure job, but it is apparently is now. But the thing is, Comicsgate is filled with fans who buy comics. That's where they all went because they were told by the comic book professionals, "Do not buy my comics." Okay, and they were told that they are not wanted. So all the fans, a lot of buyers of comics, went over here, and Comicsgate is filled with loyal, very loyal and passionate comic book fans. And so that's why they're saying, "Say hi to Comicsgate, Danny Cates, or Donny Cates. Say hi to Comicsgate." And he's like, and then he says, "I say hi to anyone. I say hi to anyone who likes comics." And then they go, "Okay, then say hi to Comicsgate." A pool of 100% comic book fans. It's people who buy comics. Every single one of them. Even the creators buy comics. I myself, as I said, backed Doc Salem twice, and that's only one of the projects I backed recently. I backed so many projects. I always had the hobby of pumping up and supporting independent creators. I love it. I love it. It's my favorite hobby. KH, SGD, KH, and much of the two. All these people should be sent to the gulag. And that'd be ironic because they all love socialism and communism. It'll be ironic if they go to the gulag they help bring in.
We can have a private conversation later, but right now I'm in the middle of a big live stream. I will call you tomorrow.
All right. Well, you know what? Okay, that's fine, man. I mean, you know, when you and I DM'd back and forth.
Okay, now check this out. Okay, I want to back this up real quick. Okay, chat. I'm going to back this up. I want you to pay attention to what Johnny Cates does. Okay, he has not changed. He has not changed in the least. It is very clear by his tactic he's using here that he's only reaching out and pretending to be contrite and sincere because his wings have been clipped. And he tried to put together a channel. It's called, I think, Devil's Advocates, which is stepping on my thing, but it's called Devil's Advocates. It's really cringy. I mean, we'll cover it next time, Chad, if we want to, but it's really cringy. It's difficult to watch, but it's delicious at the same time. But I'm gonna back it up a little bit. I want you to pay attention to what he does. Okay, I want you to pay attention to what he does. It's clear that he's not here out of apology. He didn't have a sudden change of heart. He's not here out of humility. He's here because he tried to make a YouTube channel, and YouTube is Comicsgate country, and so when he made his videos that just by arriving on Comicsgate, just by arriving, okay, all his videos were downvoted into oblivion, and his comments were just filled with Comicsgate people insulting him as he insulted Comicsgate people, insulted comic books fans, called them isnophones, and tried to ruin their lives and careers. He did not know. He soon realized, it's like Gail Simone realized, YouTube is Comicsgate country, and it is you demonize Comicsgate, you demonize these fans, these buyers, these customers for so long that now that you need people to support you, they're no longer there. They're just no longer there, and suddenly he realizes this, and now he's being okay. Maybe I should try to extend an olive branch out of desperation, and not out of sincere apology or a sudden change of mind. And it's very clear hearing this response that this is the case. So I'm going to read these couple of super chats and we'll get into this. So pay attention, chat. Pay attention. Raging Golden Eagle, welcome to the chat. Awesome. Glad to have you here. Thank you for the 2. Funny how all these SJWs want to talk now. Yeah, funny, isn't it? Kind of strange. So it's almost as if something happened. It must be a sincere change of heart. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it isn't. In fact, I know it's not. They are Scorpions, chat. Donny Cates, his ilk, they're all scorpions. Okay, they're all scorpions. They're right now. They're asking us to let them hop on our backs and have us let us paddle them across the pond. And but right when we are in the middle of the pond, they are going to sting us and sink us both. They are scorpions, chat, and we're just that's why this is so funny. We're not. I'm not even considering. If Thundercates wanted to make peace, I wouldn't even consider it. They are scorpions. They cannot help their nature. They are backstabbing and two-faced people. Okay, these comic book pros. They're backstabbing and two-faced. It's SJW NPC comic book pros. They are there. They might seem like they're being nice and polite all of a sudden. We know why, but they're scorpions. They're still scorpions. And see, Oren Albert Measle, thank you very much to the 33. Nook. What do you think about the EFAP Rags ATLA scandal? I don't know anything about it, really. Mueller informed me a little bit about it, and I said what I think anyone would have said in that moment. You really shouldn't. I mean, you could. I'm not saying you shouldn't have critiqued or bashed Avatar: Last Airbender, but you had to be aware of the consequences. Okay. Okay. The Avatar: Last Airbender still stands today as a sacred cow. Like what? 12 years later, it's a sacred cow, and if you're going to attack the sacred cow, a universal sacred cow, you cannot you cannot expect this to be just another outing. Okay, you're going to be uh luring in the ire of lots and lots of people. Also, I personally don't care because I don't care what you like or don't like. Like if you like the same thing, that's fantastic. If you don't like, if we don't like something I like, that's fine. If we don't like the Last Airbender, that's fine with me too. I still think it's a masterpiece, even after my discussion with Mahler. I still think it's a great show, and I recommend that everyone watch it. It's fantastic. It has so many great characterization elements. It kind of named the anti-villain as a trope. It's a great show. It's a fantastic show that I think if you're a writer, you should watch, especially if you're a writer. But it remains a sacred cow. And I remember this scandal. I think a Nostalgia Critic made fun of Mako, the voice of Iroh, and he got this huge backlash. And people were up in arms against the Nostalgia Critic because he dared to make fun of Mako. And so it's you have to tread carefully. Okay. If you don't want a huge gigantic backlash or a mob coming after you, you have to tread carefully when you're critiquing or bashing the Avatar: Last Airbender. Now, if you're critiquing it, that might be one thing, but I think they're outright bashing it, making fun of it, and stuff, and that's not something a lot of people would abide by. So that that's a mistake. That was a mistake if you weren't anticipating that. I know like there's like a whole thing that happened where Rags or Wolf left the show, or someone left the show or something like they're blaming someone else for that happening. It's a whole thing. I'm not really privy to all that stuff. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time to watch EFAP. I mean, all of it because they go for so long. I can watch some of it. I can't watch all of it, but I try. I really enjoy the show though. I really enjoyed being on it. I really enjoy the guys on it. They're all fun people. But unfortunately, I can't. I wasn't able to catch that drama, so I'm not really in the know. But I found it. But Mahler informed me, like, he gave me like a little rundown. But it's very interesting. But like I said, it's a sacred cow. If you're going to attack or you're going to attack or mock a sacred cow, you just have to. I'm not saying you can't do it, but you have to be very wary of the consequences. An avatar is a sacred cow of sacred cows. Andrew Sabina, thank you much for the two. Fix this now, Ethan. The Donny Cates edition. Yeah. Donny Cates might be coming off like a sympathetic and contrite here and trying to extend an olive branch and being all nice and everything, but he's not. He's a guy who tried to destroy careers. He is right there with the cancel culture SJWs. Okay. He is right up there with them. He applauded when Ethan was taken out. Might have been lost. Okay. So let's see here.
All right. Well, you know what? Okay, that's fine, man. I mean, you know, when you and I DM'd back and forth, I reached out and I said that I would like to have a private conversation with you, and you agreed, and I thought that would be the beginnings of some kind of
you notice that, chat? Okay,
accord.
so let me back it up one more time. So pay attention to what Donny Cates does. Okay, we've got to pay attention to it. So Ethan Van Sciver says, "Hey, it's not a say hi to Comicsgate. It's not a really good time to talk right now. I'm like kind of live streaming in front of all these people. You called me, okay? Remember, Donny Cates called Ethan. It wasn't Ethan calling Donny Cates so you can ambush him and bring him onto his live stream.
And back and forth.
I will call you tomorrow.
So let's go over this one more time. Let's pay attention to what Donny Cates does here. Let's see here. Wait for the internet gas to kick back in. Okay. Almost there. Just gotta wait for it. Wait for it to recharge its batteries, chat. Wait for it to recharge its batteries. Got to have that internet gas. It's premium. It's running on premium.
You love Comicsgate. That's what Comicsgate is. We can have a private conversation later, but right now I'm in the middle of a big live stream. I will call you.
So Ethan says, we can have a private. Ethan says specifically, we can have a private conversation later, but right now I'm in the middle of a live stream.
Tomorrow.
We can have a conversation tomorrow.
All right. Well, you know what? Okay.
And this is Donny Cates' response. So Ethan says, we don't have to talk now. Okay, I'm busy right now. You called. Remember, Donny Cates called Ethan. Okay, so Donny Cates called Ethan, and he's saying, okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, we can hang up now. I'll talk to you tomorrow, and we can have our private conversation tomorrow. And this is how Donny Cates responds.
That's fine, man. I mean, you know, when you and I DM back and forth, I reached out and I said that I would like to have a private conversation with you, and you agreed, and I thought that would be the beginnings of some kind of an accord of some sort of a.
Donnie, you are live right now. People can hear you right now. Do you know that? You understand that?
So you see what Donny Cates did? Ethan Van Sciver goes, okay, it's not a good time to talk right now. I could call you tomorrow. We can have a private conversation. And a reasonable person would go, like Donny Cates, if that's really what he wanted, would go, sure. I'll call you back tomorrow. We can talk tomorrow. And then that's it. That'll be it. But instead, Donny Cates being an SJW, an NPC, he can't just do that because he's not a normal person. Like he doesn't have normal mentality. So instead of going, sure, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Sounds good. We can have that private conversation I wanted to have tomorrow. Instead of doing that, he goes on and starts building up his own victim side. Because this is what the SJWs do. This is the SJW NPC arguing tactic. Okay, they begin their argument not with an opening statement, but with opening oppression. So you ever seen an SJW argue? They always build up their oppression pyramid. They always build up their mountain of oppression, and they use their victim. They've built up a mountain of victimhood status, and it's from that mountain of victimhood status where they pretend it's a moral high ground, but it's just they build it up first. It's instinct by now. It's instinct that before they begin a conversation, before they begin an argument, they build up their victimhood status so that they can be virtually untouchable. And this is what Donny Cates did. So instead of saying, sure, we could talk tomorrow, he goes, man, this is what I'm talking about. You said we could have a private conversation, and this is, you're doing this. So one more time. Let's listen to his words again. Okay, listen to his words again. Unfortunately, we have to wait for the internet gas again, of course, because it depletes the internet gas every time I try to rewind this thing. Because I guess StreamYard just can't handle it. Let's see here. Drescher's V sounds like a soy boy way of I'm special, Ethan. Talk to me right now. Fucking streamers. And by the way, chat, this conversation taking place at like 1:30 in the morning, Eastern time. Donny Cates decides, okay, at 1:30 in the morning, I'm going to call Ethan Van Sciver. Probably hoping that Ethan Van Sciver does not pick up and saying, well, I tried to talk to Ethan Van Sciver, but he ignored me. So he's trying to build a narrative. And he can't really, since Ethan called him back, he couldn't really run with that narrative. So he had to call him back so he can maintain the moral high ground. Okay, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm just trying to want to have a private conversation. It's really good stuff. It's really good stuff. So we'll see in a second. I wanted just a little bit. Okay, so a little bit. Let me see. I think sometimes taking it off screen helps. Okay, yeah, it did help. It did help a lot. Okay, so I got it. I got it to where it needs to be. And let's look at it again. So listen to Donny Cates' words. So this is after, we'll be starting it again right after he says, Ethan Van Sciver says, can we talk tomorrow? We can have our private conversation tomorrow. Okay? And then Donny Cates responds with these words. Check this out.
All right. Well,
As I said, instinct. It's instinct, chat. He has to build his victimhood status.
you know what? Okay, that's fine, man. I mean, you know, when you and I DM'd back and forth, I reached out and I said that I would like to have a private conversation with you, and you agreed, and I thought that would be the beginnings of some kind of an accord. Of some sort of a
Donnie, you are live right now. People can hear you right now. Do you know that? Do you understand?
Okay, did you notice that, chat? So instead of saying, "Okay, Ethan, I'll talk to you tomorrow," he goes, Ethan, when we DM the first time, I thought I was under the understanding that we would have a conversation in private, and this seems like you're just dropping this on me." And I had thought this was going to be the start of an accord, a peace accord. He's trying to make himself seem like the good guy, trying to build up his own victimhood status. Right after Ethan Van Sciver says, "Okay, look, we can talk tomorrow." And if Donny Cates really wanted to do this, if Donny Cates was really of the opinion that, okay, all I want is to have a private conversation, he would have hung up. But no, he's not here to have a private conversation. He wants to build up his victimhood status. He wants to build himself off as the timid, good guy trying to make peace and build a narrative then of Ethan Van Sciver being the big bad bully. Because that's what the tactic is, chat. They don't have to actually have arguments. NPCs and SJWs, as far as I've seen them actually argue, they don't actually have to. They have an argumentation style that doesn't actually require arguments. It just requires building up a victimhood status. So they build it up right at the beginning. It's the first thing they do. The first thing they do is build a victimhood status, victimhood mountain, a hill of victimhood, and then from that point on, when you're arguing with them, since they have this moral high ground of being a victim, whatever happens, whatever they say afterwards, will make you look like the bad guy because it looks like you're picking on a poor victim. And they can just leave that argument, leave that debate with them looking good, like the good person trying to make peace, and you as the evil bully trying to make them cry. That's why they do that tactic, because once they build that hill of victimhood, they no longer have to argue. They have already won. Because you will look like, at the end of the day, no matter how good your arguments are, you will look like a bully, and they will look like another battered victim. So the what he's trying to do now is it's a defensive. It's kind of like how hedgehogs roll up into a little ball, or skunks spray their stink. SJWs instinctively build a mountain of victimhood, so that you can instantly be seen as the bully. And so now that Donny Cates is building up that mountain or that hill, Ethan Van Sciver is going to sound like the bully, even though Donny Cates instigated this whole confrontation.
And that I'm warning you now, people can hear you talking right now.
I know.
Okay. All right. So just so you know that, Donnie, we can still have a conversation. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. It's just that right now is not the best time.
I understand that, but you and I did agree that we were going to have a private conversation.
That's why I'm not talking to you right now, Donnie. I'm on a private conversation. That's the thing. Now is not a good time.
See how Cates is just disregarding what Ethan is saying? He's saying, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Ethan keeps saying, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm busy right now. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, we'll have this conversation that you wanted, this private conversation that you wanted tomorrow. And Donnie Cates disregards that and continues building his victim pyramid. Saying, "Oh, you lied to me. You said we're having a private conversation. It's going to be fantastic all the way around. But you lied to me. You tricked me. You just lambasted me. You tricked me onto your stream." And see, Rocket Sale, thanks for $99. This is conflict resolution, propaganda, and action. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and take this off screen. I'm going to rewind it because for some reason it works better if I take it down first. So let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back up. Put it back up. And he says, he's reminding. Well, he interrupts Donny Cates building up his victimhood pyramid, his victimhood little mountain or hill, and he says, "Cates, people can hear you talking. Okay, you're live right now." And then this is what follows. Okay, so Ethan Van Sciver has just said, "Kate, stop. People can hear you right now. People, you're on live. You're live. 2,000 people are watching." And this is what follows.
I know.
Okay, all right. So just so you know that, Donnie, we can still have a conversation. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. It's just that right now is not the best time.
I understand.
Okay, Ethan said, "Right now is not the best time," and then Kate says,
that, but you and I did agree that we were going to have a private conversation.
That's why I'm not talking to you right now, Donnie. I'm on a private conversation.
"Yeah," he says, we're not talking. We could talk to you tomorrow, okay?" And then Donnie goes, "I understand that. Okay, I thought we were going to have a private conversation." And Ethan Van Sciver just says, "Yes, that's what I just said." So Kate is not listening. Now that he's on air, now that he's on the phone, he's trying to just build that victimhood hill. He's not stopping. He's not even listening to Ethan Van Sciver's words. He's just pretending to listen. He's just pretending to listen and continues saying, "Well, you said that we're going to have a private conversation, and I'm just being blindsided here." And all the while, even Ethan Van Sciver is saying, "Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow. That's why I'm not talking to you right now because I'm live. I'm busy." Okay, and then Cates just keeps saying, "Okay, yeah, sure, understand. But we said you're going to have a private conversation. Can you agree to have a private conversation?" And then Ethan Van Sciver says, "Yes, that's what I've been trying to tell you every time I speak. Yes, we will have your private conversation, but when I'm done here, okay, I'm streaming right now. I'm busy." And then, of course, Cates will go, "Yeah, I understand that, but can we have a private conversation? Can you agree to a private conversation? I thought, in the DMs you said we're going to have a private conversation." He's not listening. He's just trying to build that victimhood pyramid by trying to paint Ethan Van Sciver as someone who tricked Cates into thinking that they were going to have a private conversation, and then Ethan Van Sciver, this big old mean bully, who tricked Cates into having a live conversation in front of 2,000 people, kind of ambushing him and blindsiding him. That's what he's trying to paint here. That's the narrative he's trying to paint. It's not really working when Ethan Van Sciver is saying, let's get off the phone, okay? Because we're going to, I'll talk to you tomorrow. We can have the private conversation. It doesn't really work that way. Everyone who sees this can see that Ethan Van Sciver is trying to get him off the phone and so he can have the private conversation tomorrow. But Donny Cates is not having it. He's not listening. He's just building that victimhood hill. Punish Berserker, thank you very much for the 5. Donny Cates is a British. Oh, that's mean. That's mean. Donny Cates is a British cigarette. No, he's a British cigarette. Okay. Zofrats, Frega Boom is trying so hard not to laugh. He is. Look at his face. Look at that face. It's Frega Boom right there. Look at his face. He's trying to hold back his laughter because this is absolutely hilarious. Because Frega Boom has gone. He's taking his lumps. He's taking lumps. He's being flogged in public for going over to Comicsgate. He is an upstanding honest guy. I believe he's not. He's hiding it really well. But I mean, as far as I've seen, he is one of the best people we can have on the side of the anti-SJWs. He's a good guy. He's a lot of fun. He is a lot of fun, and he's great. He's fantastic. I am surprised by how much fun he actually is. He's almost like another Ethan. He's essentially another Ethan. So I can see why they're terrified. But they're a lot of he's a lot of fun. He's like a more left wing Ethan. Like Ethan is a Republican. He's open Republican, and Frega Boom is more of like he's left wing. He's more of a left winger, but not a crazy one, like a reasonable one. Yes, they do exist. Okay, so you got a Ethan on the right, Frega Boom on the left, and they're both very entertaining, very interesting people.
That's the thing. Now is not a good time to do that. So I just wanted to tell you, I will talk to you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow. We'll have a beautiful summit meeting. It'll be fantastic.
Well, this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, Ethan. I wanted to have a private.
Did you see that? Hold on, chat. Okay, I just got done telling you, chat, that Ethan and Sciver keeps saying, "Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We can have a private conversation tomorrow." And Kate is not listening. He's just building up that victim hill. So let me rewind it. Let me take this down and rewind it a little bit, and we can see this play out again, chat. It's hilarious. See this play out again. Let's see here. You get to the right spot. Get to the right spot. Okay, now we can watch this play out. So pay attention to what happens. I just told you, okay, that Donny Cates is not listening. He's in instinctive mode. He's in that defensive mode. Okay, he's Jerry from Rick and Morty when he got turned into a little worm thing. He's putting his butt up in the air. He's in defensive mode right now. He's building that pyramid. That's all he knows what to do. He's on instinct. He's operating on instinct. He's just trying to build that victimhood hill. Not got the audio one. Okay, so check this out. Listen to what happens. Listen to the exact timeline of what happens here.
That's why I'm not talking to you right now, Donnie. I'm on a private conversation. That's the thing. Now is not a good time to do that. So I just wanted to tell you, I will talk to you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow. We'll have
right now is not a good time. I will talk to you tomorrow.
A beautiful summit meeting.
We'll have a beautiful summit meeting. It'll be fantastic. And then Donny Cates, of course, says, "Okay, Ethan, that sounds good. I'll talk to you tomorrow." Right? Well, of course he doesn't. Okay, he's an SJW. He's not listening. So, what do you think he does, chat? Here's what he does next.
Fantastic.
So Ethan and Sciver just got done saying, "I'll talk to you tomorrow. We can have a private conversation tomorrow. It'll be a summit meeting. Right now is not a good time. I will talk to you tomorrow." Now, any reasonable person would say, "Okay, sure. That sounds good to me. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Looking forward to hearing from you." A reasonable, normal person would say that, but not an SJW NPC.
Well, this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about, Ethan. I wanted to have a private conversation with you, man to man.
You fucking called him.
And then you put me on blast in front of all this. And
Donnie, you called me. You called.
Yeah, first of all, Donnie called him, and second of all, Ethan just got done saying, "I will talk to you tomorrow," and then Donny Cates, instead of saying, "Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow, bye," he says, "Well, this is what I'm talking about. You know, I wanted a conversation with you, man to man, and you put me on blast in front of all these people." He's not listening. He just keeps trying to build up that pyramid, trying to build up that hill. Look at how much of a victim I am. I thought I was coming into this conversation with a clear mind and willing to talk things out, willing to make peace and extend an olive branch with Ethan Van Sciver. And he led me to believe that I was going to engage with him on a man-to-man private conversation. Now I'm on his stream. He tricked me. He tricked me, chat. He tricked me. I'm a victim. I'm a victim of the big back bully, Ethan Van Sciver, with his famous mean streak. And that's what he did. That's exactly what he did. He just that's exactly what he wanted to happen. He's building up that victim hill.
Me at 1:30 in the morning.
I called you on your private line.
Yes, I know. And I'm live streaming in front of a whole lot of people, Donnie.
Yeah, man.
And all I did
told
was
you
I
that.
wanted to say to you, it's okay. I'll talk to you later. I'm busy right now. There's nothing, Donnie. Nothing nefarious is happening here. All I wanted you to.
I understand that. I know it's not nefarious. I get it. We're all good. Everything is good here. I'm just saying that a text in front of this saying like, "Hey man, would you be okay with going 2,000 and all that?" would have been okay. I'm happy to do that in the future. I really am. I promise that.
The chat is literally crying right now. They're very sad that you won't just say hi to Comicsgate.
I will absolutely say hi. I will say hi to anyone who supports comics.
That's
Again, that wasn't the case a year ago. That I will say hi to anyone who likes comics. That wasn't the case a year ago, Kates. I saw it. That was not the case a year ago. Now I'm not blocked by Kates for some reason. I could have sworn I was, but I'm not. If I was, I'm not blocked any longer. I think he's trying to really reach out with the olive branch here, but that wasn't the case a year ago. You know, when you had a steady job, when you had job security, that wasn't the case. Now that your wings have been clipped, now that you're free falling, and you don't qualify for any sort of assistance, of government assistance, and you're jobless. Now that that's happening, suddenly we don't look so bad. Okay, suddenly we're fine. Suddenly, those istophobes and those bigots over there in Commonsgate, suddenly they're not so istophobic anymore, are they?
Comicsgate.
I will. Hey, look, I'll just say this. And you know what? And I'll just say this. And then Ethan, if I agree to just say this right now, will you agree to have a private conversation with me?
Donnie, I've agreed to have a private conversation with you 100 times. I'd be happy to talk. I'm thrilled to talk to you.
All right.
Oh, you hear that? He's trying to paint it as if Ethan Van Sciver has tricked him on the stream, and saying tricked him on the stream with the promise of a private conversation, even though he has said multiple times already, as I illustrated, that he's trying to get him off the phone so he can have a private conversation tomorrow. And then Donnie Cates goes, well, I'll say hi to CG if you can promise me that we'll have a private conversation. And then Ethan Van Sciver says, yes, that's been saying over and over and over again. So Cates is not listening. He's trying to build up that little hill here. Chill's trying to push a narrative. He's trying to push a narrative that Ethan Van Sciver is a big old bully, there's a big old liar and a bully, and that Cates is the white knight coming in and being gracious in the face of evil.
Then what I will say publicly here is that my comments in the past regarding the group that has called themselves Comicsgate, the people that I have lashed out on have been the ones that have been attacking me. And the thing that I was going to tell you on our phone call was that I'm sure of it, that there are many people in the organization that are not that are just people who want to make good comics.
Oh, okay. Well, now you're good. Now you're seeing some nuance here. Now suddenly, now there's nuance. Now there's nuance in Comicsgate. Suddenly, it was used last year. Was all of them? All of Comicsgate are just a bunch of angry white men who are trying to build comics based on appealing to racists and sexists and stuff. Now there's nuance. Now that you're free falling down, now that you've flown too close to the sun and your wings have melted, now there's nuance. Okay, Kates, sure.
And have peaceful interactions and stuff. And the people that I have lashed out have been probably the vocal minority that have been hateful.
I'm sure this has nothing to do with the loss of his job. I'm pretty sure that's definitely nothing to do with his YouTube channel only having maybe two videos, both of which have been nuked by Comicsgate. Is this downvoted into oblivion. His videos have been downvoted into oblivion, and he had to turn off comments so that because Comicsgate just flooded the comments. They flooded it. Anyway,
have been, have lashed out, and Lord knows I've had my moments as well. Okay, and so
why wouldn't you want to do this in private? Why? Like, this is the stuff you wanted to say in private. You're now saying it publicly, which is good. I mean, I applaud it. I think it's good that you're saying this stuff.
I want to, because I want to talk to you about it, because there's more to it. Okay.
Punish Berserker, thanks for the 5. Appreciate that. Hey, then if that I thought we were going to have a private conversation. Oh, very nice. I thought we were going to have a private conversation, but you tricked me into coming on your stream, and now I'm flabbergasted, and I'm a victim here, and you're just a big bad bully, Ethan Sciver. You're just a big bad bully. Very nice. Very, very nice. Dr. Crow, thank you very much for the $9.99. Hi, CG. I know we haven't talked a lot, but I'm a real bad spot. Hi, CG. I know we haven't talked a lot, but I'm in a real bad spot right now, and I've been thinking I need to turn my life around. So I'm sorry. We good? Love, Donnie. It like an honest player. Yeah. If Donnie does come over, he wants to join Comicsgate, it's going to be so disingenuous. There's there's been other creators who came in saying, yeah, I want to join Comicsgate because there's a lot of, I heard they back comics. Are you Comicsgate? No, I just want to use your audience for their money. Wow, what a scumbag. I think Kate's might be one of those. He just wants to come in. He wants to utilize big audiences that he once demonized sheerly for the money, not because he adhered to the principles, and because when you are a Comicsgate creator, okay, you have to it's not just you coming in to make money. Okay, that's not how it works. Okay, you can't just come in and use an audience to make money. That's not how it works at all. Not in Comicsgate anyway. Maybe in the industry, but not in Comicsgate. Maybe in the industry where you're allowed to insult customers and chain block them, but not in Comicsgate. Okay, the only people who are allowed as a Comicsgate creator and who are not eventually pushed out are the people who adhere to the ideology of Comicsgate, respect the customer, listen to the customer, treat them like human beings, treat them like the people, like they treat them like they deserve to be treated, like people, like the people who are important to you, people who back you, support you, like friends. Okay, like friends, and then also treat the customer with respect, the respect they deserve, and make comic books that are not political, that don't push a political ideology, that adhere to character and story first. You have, in order to be a creator in Comicsgate, a Comicsgate creator, and to be accepted by the audience of Comicsgate, you have to adhere to these principles, and you have to embrace them fully and be against this tyrannical social justice nonsense. Which Donny, I'm going to have a very hard time believing Donny Cates would be embracing this stuff. Okay, because I don't think he can stand not insulting a customer for 5 minutes, let alone never again, let alone give them respect, let alone give them the time of day. Okay, I'm just having a hard time believing that, because that's what a Comicsgate creator is. Respect the customer, give them the respect they deserve. Okay, treat them with kindness, treat them on a good terms with respect, and then you also adhere to the fact that you have to create comic books without injecting your ideology and putting it first and foremost. Okay, you have to stick with story characterization. So I think if Donny Cates comes into Comicsgate or tries to, that's the type he's going to be. I'm sorry, I'm a real bad spot right now, but can I use your audience to get the audience I called Nazis for a couple of years now? Can I use them to fund my own projects and get myself out of the spot I myself put myself in? Can I do that? Can I take advantage of you guys? Can I just use you and then toss you aside when I'm done? No, Donny Cates. No, you. I don't think you can. I don't think that'd be a good idea.
But 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 really, what it comes down to is, my wife and I started our video, and we got a lot of hate. And all we were trying to
Oh, you did you? I wonder why. Was it because he called fans Nazis for 2 years? Is it because you willfully participated in the attempting ruination of several of these creators, try to ruin their careers, or cheered on while their careers were trying to be ruined, their lives are trying to be ruined? Huh. I wonder why you're getting a lot of hate.
do was promote comics that were still available from shops that you could order from. All right, that's all we were trying to do, and it was never supposed to be an attack on anybody or anything like that. And bottom line, dude, I don't want to take money out of anyone's fucking pocket. Like, I don't want to take a job away from anybody. Like no matter what your book is or what your group is.
Don't worry about me, Donnie. It's not about me.
He doesn't want to take a job away from anybody. He called creators not istophobes. He tried to paint them as bad guys. He tried to paint these creators as bad guys. He helped paint these creators as bad guys. What do you think was going to happen when they had to when they resorted to a business model that relied on a direct connection with the customer? You painted them as istophobes. You think the customer is going to willfully want to back someone they legitimately believe is a racist or a bigot? I don't think so. So what do you think you were doing? What is you just tossing out those terms willy nilly without any thought of consequence? Yes, you were taking food and money out of their plates and pockets, Donny Cates, by insulting these people. So I don't believe you when you say I never wanted to take food away from you. You did. You did. You absolutely did. There's no getting around that. There's proof out there. Okay, I'm highly doubtful. I'm very your claims seem dubious, very dubious to me, judging by your behavior, your despicable behavior. NC Hex Harper, thank you much for 5. Appreciate that. He could easily sidestep it by saying, hello, everyone, but no, he has to make this big old fight about it, doesn't he? He can't. It's not that hard. Civility to alleged bigots is verboten. Yeah, you can't. According to the SJW rules, you cannot offer the slightest bit of humility, slightest bit of contriteness or kindness or fair play to the people they have deemed as heathens, more or less. So Donny Cates is only the latest guy to come over to try to assert a piece. Gail Simone tried. She goes, "I'm going to be teaching a class on Twitter on how to write a comic, and anyone can join. Oh, by the way, even if you're CG, you can join. Just behave yourself. Well, anyway, anyone can join. Try to sweep that under the rug. But she really wants to connect with CG now. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done that. And then there was, I think it was Max Bisaccio who talked to Ethan in private, saying, "We should probably, form a truce in this time of need. I wouldn't do this normally, but it's a pandemic going around, so let's totally have a truce now." And now Donny Cates, hi Ethan, I want to talk now. Can we just hash something out? So all these pros who for years called us bigots and Nazis and try to ruin the lives of your boy Zach, trying to ruin the lives of Ethan Van Sciver and so many other pros, try to bully people into walking in step with the party doctrine. And now they're trying to be the good guy. They're trying to, it's not like I'm in trouble or anything. It's not in a tight spot or anything. I just thought it was time to let bygones be bygones. Sure you did. At the moment the comic industry shuts down is the moment you want to let bygones be bygones. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
You have to understand, Donnie, it's not about me. Okay, it's not about me or any of these creators here. Comicsgate's tens of thousands of fans who publicly supported your work before you denounced them 2 years ago. Don't make peace with me. Make peace with them, Donnie, because I'm not going to betray my fans by publicly endorsing your behavior. All of this positivity shit is bullshit. Apologize to the fans.
Wow. Okay, this is getting good, chat. I didn't get to this part. This is fantastic. He's just making Donny Cates eat the last 2 years of his behavior. Oh, this is fantastic. Apologize to the fans. Okay, Kate, we loved you. Thomas Kate loved you until you started calling them istophobes for 2 years. And we know this kind goody two shoes act is just that, an act. And he's just lambasting him with his own behavior. And this is in steep contrast. This code of goody two shoes nonsense is in steep contrast with which we have been doing for over 2 years now.
Who supported you, and you demonized them all when you demonized Comicsgate.
Well,
don't worry about me and my career. I'm doing great, Donnie. I'm doing fine.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this idea that somehow people have got it into their head that I want everyone to fail and I want everyone to. I'm trying to take money out of people's pockets and stuff, and that's not true.
Oh, I wonder where we got that idea. Because you tried to make everyone fail and therefore try to get everyone take money out of everyone's pockets and demonized fans and demonized creators. Labeled them as untouchables, so they can't make money and if they end up in the streets and can't feed their own families. I wonder where they got that idea, Kate. I wonder where. Oh, it's a mystery. It's one of those life's mysteries, chat, that we'll never find out the answer to. Anyway, Punished Berserker, thank you much for the 5. Gail Simone's writing class for free, and Neil Gaiman's masterclass for $180. Buys Neil Gaiman's masterclass. Oh, by the way, Neil Gaiman's masterclass on Masterclass, I cannot recommend it enough. It is so chock full of useful information. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean that. I think it's I think it's like what $180 for a year of full access to Masterclass, or I think it's $90 for where you can have that one class forever. And that's what I did. I paid the $90 so I can have Neil Gaiman's Masterclass, and believe me, it's I think that was a bargain in my opinion. Of all the knowledge and experience that Neil Gaiman packed full into that class and that course, I got off scot cheap. With that $90. It was fantastic. Cannot recommend that highly enough. Neil Gaiman's masterclass. If you are a writer, if you're an aspiring writer, Neil Gaiman is a genius when it comes to this stuff. He is one of the few writers I've listened to, and I've listened to a lot of writers chat. I listen to a lot of authors speak, and he is one of the few who actually understands the importance of narrative and character, and the importance, at the very end of the day, the importance of stories. It's why not only do I like him as a writer, he's one of the few authors I legitimately admire. So I cannot emphasize enough. If don't put yourself out or anything, but if you can comfortably afford it, I would suggest purchasing Neil Gaiman's masterclass. I do not think you will regret it. I think you'll find it's full of useful information, and it is well worth your time and money. It's well worth your time and money. So, Fred's fair warning, LD is a Neil Gaiman fangirl. Well, that is absolutely true. I'm not going to lie to you. That's absolutely true. It's right on the money. So, take that. Take everything down and determine whether or not you want to. Because there's a trailer about it you can experience for free. I think also, if you want to, I believe there are clips from his masterclass on YouTube. So if you want to check out those clips, you can for free and see if you want to just test the waters. See if you want to check out, see if you might like the tone and the way that it's handled. And see, Rockin' Sailor, thanks for $1.99. EVS is about to go full Green Lantern on the sky. Oh, we're about to get into the good stuff, it seems. Awesome. Cannot wait. Let's check it out, chat. Let's check it out together.
All right, and you and I can have a longer conversation, preferably that you and I can have one on one. But man, look, fucking hate of all the hatred and shit. And
We
sure
are
you
too.
guys are.
Yeah.
Kate's is tired of the hate. Oh, oh no, Kate's is tired of the hate. The guy who's been hateful for 2 years is tired of the hate. Huh. I you think I think we are too, Chad. I think we're tired of the hate. But this it is keep on piling onto us, and it seems unending.
Yeah, and hey, here's the thing. I'm sure that if we all sat down, we'd all agree on more than what we disagree on. You know, and I think there's been too much of a divide and too much of bullshit people talking for us instead of people.
Let's see. Another Gen 42. Is it just comics or writing? It's both. I wonder if it would be helpful for my daughter. It's both. He goes up for everything because Gaiman has done comics and he's done novels, and movie writing or TV show writing. So yeah, it covers both. There is in fact, it's mostly just about writing in general, and his philosophy on writing and the wisdom on developing as a writer. And there is a section, however, for comic book writing specifically. How he wrote Sandman, how he scripted out a page of Sandman, that sort of stuff. So it's everything. It is everything under the sun, the whole spectrum from wisdom of writing to developing as a writer, the things you might expect as a developing writer to, developing your own voice, what you might do at the beginning. And it's just all around. It's like a one-stop shop for everything everything you need to know as a fledgling writer. That's why it's so great.
Talking of like us talking to each other.
Donnie, I will tell you this. And I want you to put yourself for a minute now. Let's forget about the fans. And you and I are supposed to have a talk. I want you to imagine that the industry that you gave 25 years of your life to simultaneously worked together to convince the general public that you were a Nazi. And I want you to wonder to yourself if you would ever forget that or ever forgive that. Would you do that? I want you to think about what it would be like if leftist media publications on the internet all converged with the help and support of people who you consider to be your peers to convince the general public that you were a bigot, a homophobe, a racist, and a Nazi. Is there any way that you would ever forgive those circumstances?
Oh wow! No, that's a bitter pill to swallow, because Donny Cates was standing right there at everyone cheering it on when that specific scenario happened to EVS, when they tried to lambast him as all those horrible things, and Donny Cates stood aside, and eventually he just came out against Comicsgate, and he came out against Ethan Van Sciver and just tried to pound him into the dirt even more. Now it's a bitter pill to swallow. So Donny Cates is coming off as we're all friends here. We could probably be friends. We could probably work things out. And Ethan Van Sciver says, "Oh, we can we? Well, here's what I want you to think about." And he just drops that anvil on him. Think about it. What if everyone you considered friends? And by the way, Dan Fraga, he is going through this right now. He is going through this right now. This is past for Ethan, but Dan Fraga is going through this right now. Okay, he is right now going. All of his friends are trying to destroy him. They're coming out against him and saying, "Oh, I thought I knew you. I thought you were a good guy, but you were apparently an Inistophobe." And that all the people he thought were friends are coming out against him easily, and they're fickle. They're easily, and at a drop of a dime, drop of a hat, stabbing Dan Fraga in the back. And people are trying to hack his Instagram account. They're trying to do all sorts of things to mess with him. And it's terrible. So Johnny Cates is coming in like as if Ethan Van Sciver just left because he got angry or something. No, Ethan Van Sciver did not leave. He was blacklisted. He was blackballed, and he was tagged as a racist, a Nazi, a sexist, and this was also in the media. All these leftist little left-leaning media, all these not left-leaning but far leftist media outlets shared the same. And Donny Cates was there, and he didn't help him. He didn't come out and say, "Hey, Ethan, I know you're a good guy. I want to help you in this trying time." No, he just stood on the sidelines. So he was kind of part of it too. And what an anvil to drop on Donny Cates trying to play this goody two shoes guy who's just trying to say, you're being unreasonable, Ethan. I think we just talk it out. Well, we can find some good ground. He's still building that victim hill. And then Ethan and Sciver took a sledgehammer and it destroyed it with that one scenario.
I can understand where you're coming from, and
Right.
I'm serious when I say that. I can see where you're coming from with that. Okay, and I've been getting a little bit of that myself, and I can only imagine. But
yeah, he can't really say anything, can he? He immediately went from Ethan Sciver saying, "How would you feel? Could you ever forgive that if you were lambasted and you were just tagged as all these horrible things, and the people you thought you were friends stabbed you in the back? Would you ever forgive that?" And Donny Cates said, "Well, I'm getting that a little bit of that myself, so no, you haven't, Donny Cates. No, you haven't. You got some hate on Twitter. The big difference between getting some hate on Twitter and having your friends stab you in the back and being made to look like a horrible person in the public eye. It doesn't matter what really happens on Twitter. Okay, not when you have the right politics. And Donny Cates has had the right politics. So he just instantly deflected, instantly redirected things so that not only can they stop talking about that conversation, stop, just move off of that point, but he can go back to naming himself as a victim again. Oh no.
the thing is how, and I don't mean this to be an attack. I don't mean this to be any. Again, you called me, and I didn't know there was going to be 2,000 people here.
I did it on accident. I was trying to look at your message to see what it said, and I accidentally hit the phone button and then hung up real quick, like shit.
That's okay.
Yeah. I didn't mean to call you back.
That's okay. I'm just saying, like, I wanted.
So EVS has said, okay, Donny Cates, how would you feel if you were, all this stuff happened, your friends betrayed you, backstabbed you, and you were painted in the public eye as a horrible person? How would you feel? And he went to, I've been getting that kind of hate, and when you called me, I didn't think you would, you kind of ambushed me. So he just disregarded that question entirely and went back to, what about me? I'm the victim here, EVS. I'm the victim. You said we're gonna have a private conversation, man to man. Now you called me. Now I'm on a live stream with 2,000 people. You didn't tell me about this. You called me. No, you called him, Kate. You called him. Oh, what a fantastic person this Donny Cates is. He's not going to answer that question. He's not going to even consider that scenario. He's just going to say, "Well, I've been getting hate now too, Ethan. I've been getting hate now too, and I've you called me, and now we're supposed to have a hard conversation, and you called me. Now I'm in front of 2,000 people. You lied to me, Ethan. You lied to me." And right back to, I'm the victim. Where whatever Ethan says, it's going to go right back to, I'm the victim. I'm the hurt party here.
Have a one-on-one with you because I do believe that if you and I could actually have a conversation, that we could come to some sort of accord where we can not hurt each other, and we could figure out. I don't know. That's the conversation, right? And look, you're not going to get this from fucking Scott Snyder. You're not going to get this from anybody else. Like, I'm actually trying to fucking, like, reach out to you here. All right. I'm sure that you and I did disagree on a lot. I'm sure.
Here come the curse words, Chad. He's gained some confidence. He's trying to be edgy. This is what the SJWs use when they're trying to be edgy and good and all that stuff. They're trying to take control of things. Now, I think Donny Cates at this point thinks he has a sufficiently large victim hill built up. Now he can go on the offensive. He has enough confidence behind him that, okay, now I painted myself enough as a victim. Now I can go on the offensive, and I can do whatever I want, and I won't look like the bad guy because I built myself as much enough of a victim that I'll be seen as the good guy no matter what I do. Hex Harper, thanks for $1.99. Appreciate that. YouTube flack doesn't equal ostracism. Deal with it. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. And he's earned every bit of it. Believe me, he's earned every bit of it. Let's see here. Dr. Crow, I don't know. Sums it all up, doesn't it? I think so. I think so. Let's see here.
There's a lot that we agree on, and I'd like to have that conversation. And if I'm not being as eloquent as I want to be right now,
not everybody can be as eloquent as me, Donnie. It's elegant, charming, and humble.
It's because I didn't know that I was about to be live streamed to 2,000 people, but I will say this, and I'm going to let you go, okay? Because I'd like to continue the conversation in private.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
I'd like to leave you with this, and in the past, some people, I'm not accusing you or anyone else. Some people have accused me of this being insincere.
I think Donny Cates. I think his channel is a live stream. Did you know that, chat? I think it's Devil's Advocates. I think it's a live stream channel. And it's get in front of the camera and talk about nonsense. And yeah, I don't think that's the best avenue for him. I think his best avenue would be pre-recorded videos with pre-recorded scripted videos. Judging by this, okay, yeah, he's a streamer on his channel, and I will let you go. Yeah, Ethan and Sciver has been trying to get him off the phone so they can have that private conversation he promised for the longest time, and Donny Cates has kept going and going and going and going and going, and now at the end he's acting again like the victim, saying, "I'm going to let you go," as if he's the one in charge here. He's the one that took dominance. I told you, Chad. He was trying to go on the offensive. He felt like he got a big enough victimhood hill built, and now he's saying that he's going to let Edith and Sciver go. He's going to let him go. Like he's the one controlling the call and the conversation now. Let's see here. Mayfield Jukes, next show Saturday PM for Advocates. Be there or be squirrel. Yeah, go watch the show. Go give Kate your support, or whatever, supporter or otherwise. Doesn't matter to me. Of course, I'm not encouraging it, chat, but you do what you like. It's you're free to do what you want. Go show me support. Don't go show me support. Either way is fine with me. You're your own person. I'm not here to think for you.
I want to genuinely just leave you guys with. I genuinely hope that you guys are happy and healthy, and even though we disagree on.
Look, you see Ethan Sciver's smile. He's smiling because this is funny. Okay, Peter Simeti, the guy the wonderful man, very smart, wise man, who owns Alternate Comics. He's been getting lambasted too, just like Dan Frega is, because he too came out as Comicsgate. He sided fully with Comicsgate. And the weird thing is that these weirdo SJWs, they do this weird thing where they still hate you, but they need to come up as the better party. They need to come up as the moral superior. So they'll say something along the lines of, I thought you were a good, wise person, but turned out you're a terrible istophobe who supports racists and Nazis. But I sincerely hope that your family, you and yours, are doing well. It's they always end things like that. They'll say the most horrific, disgusting things, and then I sincerely hope you and yours are doing well during this trying time, or something like that. So they'll say, they'll be talking to Peter Simeti, and they'll say, I had no idea you were a terrible person. I thought you were better than that, Peter Simeti. You're an awful person, and you produce horrible comics, and you have a terrible way of doing things. You're running a terrible business, and no one under you is having a good time, and they're not making any money. You're scamming people, Peter Simeti. You're scamming people. But I sincerely hope that you and yours are doing well. No. And this is why Ethan Sciver is smiling, because Donny Cates has pulled that card out. He just pulled that card out. Cates has pulled out the old, I hope you and yours are doing fine and you're not sick and you're doing good. This is a patented SJW tactic, especially now. Especially now. See here. Punish Berserker, thank you much too. Donny Cates reminds me of Place Boeing's video If. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let's see what we have here. Let's see here. Adam Hatch, Adam Fenton wants on. Let's see here. Adam Fenton. Oh, there it is. Adam Fenton's in the chat. Let me see here. 1 second here. 1 second, chat. Give me 1 second, chat. Give me 1 second here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. And that should do it. Okay. Okay. We should be good to go, chat. We should be good to go. Let's see what we can do here. All right. So, this is why Ethan Van Sciver is smiling. He's I sent the link to Adam Friended. Should be in the private DMs and on Twitter. So he wants to come in, he can. So that's why he's smiling, because he's pulled out the old "Hope you and yours are doing well" card. I really hope you're just doing well. Ethan Van Sciver, you're a terrible person. I hope your drawing hand gets cut off, and you can't make any money, and your family and friends are all wasting away in the gutter. Okay, I really hope that happens. But I hope at the end of the day, I hope you and yours are doing well. I've seen this happen so many times on Twitter. I've seen this happen so many times. It is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Shit. I hope you're in a safe place, and I hope that you're all taking care of each other. And I hope that we come out of this in a world where, I mean, I hope to God in 10 years we can still, it's not Mad Max times, and we can still keep on these arguments, So I hope that we can at least agree on that.
I don't want to argue with you guys. I want to beat you guys. That's
laying down the truth. Well, the truth is, we don't want to argue with you people. We don't want to argue with the mainstream comic book pros. We want to beat you. We want to beat you. We want to return the pain by shoving your arrogance right back down your throat, by defeating you in your own profession. Let's see, KH, thank you very much for 5. Hi, Ethan and LD. Also, love how karma hits the comics industries now. When the SJW crowd tried to cancel Ethan, then that's why I like it. It's ironic. It's very ironic that the comic book pros are now suffering the same exact fate that they actively try to push on Ethan Van Sciver and your boy Zach, and so many other pros too, including Mike S. Miller. They try to cancel these people, try to ruin their careers, try to ruin their lives for their own little desires. And here we go. Hello, Adam Friended. Welcome.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Oh, fantastic! It's having a wonderful Tuesday morning. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I just woke up to this madness, and I saw that you were EFAPing it already, and I was like, "You've been inviting me on the show forever," so I figured I would just jump in.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Welcome to the show. Welcome. And
yeah.
That your comic book is good. I heard you you didn't want to launch your comic book until you had like 500 backers or 500
email addresses. Yeah. It's kind of, how many backers did you end up getting on yours?
So far, I think I have around 600
Okay, cool. Yeah, we were up to 600 email addresses, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that later. Let's talk about the drama, for heaven's sakes. I mean, this is crazy. I was listening to the stream last night before I went to bed, and I went to sleep before the madness hit.
Same
Like,
here. I had this on. I saw Ethan Sciver was on, and it was too late because I kind of go to bed early for the stream. I go to bed early anyway, but
yeah, me too. Yeah,
uh,
I'm up early and I go to bed early. So
and then I wake up and everyone's talking about. Did you hear about Donnie Cates going on Ethan Sciver's stream? I was like,
oh
wait a
my
minute, what
God.
happened?
It's funny because I listened. So everyone was kind of roasting him on this other stream that he did with his wife, which, I mean, if you're going to start YouTube, why would you want to, like, the whole couples thing? Like, when
Yeah,
you're,
it's way too quirky, way too cutesy.
and way too fast. I feel like it's like, are you guys going to broadcast your couples therapy? Like, please.
it was really strange. They were talking about how his wife was in love with
Oh,
another
I
artist named
know.
Mateo at
I
their
know.
wedding.
Oh, I know. So bad.
That
So bad.
doesn't seem right to me. I don't know what.
These are, it's so funny because people come into YouTube and it's like coming into a brand new environment and not knowing anything. And it's funny because the rules of your community locally might be completely different than this hodgepodge of rules that's created by YouTube, by the YouTube community, let's call it.
Mhm.
So yes, I think Donnie has made about every possible YouTube mistake you could make in his like first week out. It's funny because Gail Simone did the exact same thing.
Yeah, they both
Like,
got destroyed by
yes,
Comicsgate because,
yes.
as you know, YouTube is Comicsgate country.
I know. I went to his comment section. I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I was ready to read. I was gonna read for hours. Comments disabled. God damn it.
Let's see. KH, thank you very much for the 2. Hi, fam. Hi, KH. Let's see here. Hello, Hail Caesar. Caesar,
Hail,
thank you for the chat.
yeah,
Oh,
Hail Literature
nice,
Festival.
nice.
Hail Adam
Nice.
Friended.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, what a night.
Welcome,
I know.
welcome. We were just discussing how we both began the stream and then both went to bed before the good stuff happened.
Yes. Like maybe 5 minutes before the good stuff happened too. I was so disappointed. I was like, what?
Yeah. Who knew that was going to happen? Now, Donnie Cates had demanded an audience with me in private. He was negotiating with a comic skater to talk to me. And this comic skater said, you're not prepared to go to war with Comicsgate, Donnie. You better like talk to Ethan. You better just like negotiate. I mean, the ridiculousness. So Donnie, I didn't realize this, but I looked in my kind of spam folder or my junk folder, whatever that DM thing is, where you're not following someone.
Mhm.
And there was a series of messages in there from Donnie Cates, who just said, we need to talk. You know, we need to sit down and talk. I have no fucking idea. I have nothing to say to you. I have literally nothing to say to Donnie Cates. But I said, yeah, here's my phone number. Call anytime. And he said, he said, okay. And then I took a nap because I sleep in the afternoon, and I guess he called and I didn't pick up the phone. And I got a message from him, in that same DM thread that said, I tried to call. I'll call you later. I have a meeting to go to now. I'm like, bitch, you have no meeting to go to. The coronavirus has shut everything down. What meeting are you going to? So in any case, he called me up again, like in the middle of the night. I'm doing a live stream and my phone rings. It's 1 a.m. And I'm like, Donnie must know. Like either Donnie's watching the stream right now. We roasted him a little bit, but either Donnie's watching the stream right now or he's not. And he's just the kind of person that drunk dials people at 1:30 in the fucking morning. I mean, I'm probably asleep, it's like, if it wasn't me, if you didn't know I was up live streaming, you would assume I was in bed with my wife. Well,
hell yeah.
Some of us do that. Some of us go to bed with our wives. But no, I'm up live streaming. And I just looked because I saw him and I went, fuck, why is he doing that? And then he left a message, but the message was only 2 seconds long. I was waiting for the transcription and it was garbled. So I was trying to I pressed the button and I accidentally hit the redial button to call him back. And I was like, fuck. And I hung up real quick. Then I decided I was going to call him after all and just say, Donnie, sorry about this. I'm live streaming. He ended up calling me back and coming on the air. And did you watch the video yet? Or you're already through the video, aren't you?
We're almost done. We're almost done.
Okay.
I was going through all the little tactics that he's doing, how he's just immediately, like a skunk spraying its stink, or a hedgehog rolling up into a ball. Donny Cates immediately started making himself a victim. Immediately started building up himself his little victim hill, so that you look like the bully, and he looked the poor little Donny Cates who just got dragged into all this. All he wanted was a private conversation. The mean old EVS tricked him into coming onto a stream of 2,000 people. What a bad man.
Yeah. And
I'm so glad that you threw in the your experience with being targeted as being called a Nazi, and basically people trying to destroy your reputation. Like, you had him like speechless there. Like, he'd never even imagined that you had suffered any ramifications of their nonsense.
Yeah, and then he had the gall to just not answer you, and then just switch it back onto himself. It's like, well, I've been experiencing a little bit of that too, and
Oh yeah. I got some nasty comments one time.
Yeah, I got some nasty comments one time.
Yeah, it was totally bizarre. He used the word accord, like these idiots. Donny Cates thinks he's a celebrity. He's not. And then he thinks he's a statesman. What the fuck are you negotiating an accord with me for? I got an accord for you. Honda makes them. Here you go. Fuck you. These guys have no idea the damage that they've done to the comic book industry. And if they think that Comicsgate is going to just, negotiate with them and while we're riding over their face, I mean, we're riding over their faces with our, I picture me in a dune buggy, like Arch Hall Jr. in the 60s, riding in my dune buggy over their faces. We're just not going to do that. They have nothing that we want. And I think that's what startled Donnie last night. It's like, I'm Donny Cates. Surely you're going to get off of your huge live stream in front of 2,000 customers to talk to me in private.
Oh, he was lost. He didn't know what to do. You had him stuttering like crazy. He was... The stutter said it all. You're like there, calm, cool, and collected, just gathering your thoughts, just having a good old time. And he does not know what to do. He's like, do I just hang up?
He has more stutters than man now. Let's see. I'm going to go over these super chats real quick. Tyler Preston, thanks for the 2. Adam, tell LD all about the actual context. What was that supposed to mean?
Actual context was a guy who made a hit piece against a hit piece video against Ethan, and Ethan and I kind of EFAP'd it on one of my streams. You can check it out on my channel. It's a lot of fun. So,
I mean, I think what you and I, Adam, we live stream every Sunday, don't we? It's called.
Oh yeah. Literature Devil's avatar looks not exactly, but if you just look at it for a second, you'll think it's PSA Sitch, who's the guy that I actually live stream with every Sunday.
I guess because we're the same person.
Yes, but obviously. One day we'll have you both on at the same time, and it'll blow everyone's minds.
Well, it's gonna be a lot of trouble because I'm gonna be having to switch between get-ups. So I have to switch between microphones. So
yes,
it's gonna be it'll be hard work. But I think we can
lost
do it.
Literature Devil. But that's okay. Dearest Martha, I set sail for the land of comic skaters, a savage lot, but I hope to strike some sort of an accord with them. Your faithful husband, Donnie.
What is that from? That's awesome. Hold on. Do you think because what was the thing that he tweeted out, like, I'm lonely and give me a call or something?
Oh, he did. I saw that.
What was that all about? Was that after the live stream? Like, he's like, I just had a terrible interaction.
I'm pretty sure doesn't he have a wife? Can he talk to his wife, or is that not an option? Is she with her boyfriend or something? What's going on?
I don't want to speculate about that, because poor guy, being in a bad marriage is tough. It's
really, I agree.
That's me. Disappearing. Okay, being in a bad marriage is tough. But he actually tweeted out like 2 days ago. He's like, I need a video game where me and my wife can both.
Well, wait for Ethan to come back. Rocket Sailors for $1.99. They really think it's like a war. Strange people, like he wants, like, Donny Cates wanted to come on and like strike up the Treaty of Versailles between himself and Comicsgate or something.
I don't. That's just not how YouTube works. Like, if you understood YouTube, you would not ask such a crazy thing.
No, of course not. I mean, look, people are going to rate his streams because it's funny, and
Yes.
this is the whole thing about the internet. If you want to understand how the internet works based on what's funny and entertaining, not
Yes.
what's on kind,
Yeah, not positivity.
No, it's not positivity. It's like whatever's funny. So if you make it funny, you can use that in a good way. If you make your live streams funny and fun, like Literature Double does, like Adam Friended does, people will come and participate. Or if teasing you is funny, then people are going to tease you. And there's nothing you can do about it except kind of parry it by laughing at yourself a little bit.
Yes. Do you have to have some sort of self-deprecating humor on the internet? Otherwise, you are never going to survive. But the question is, does Donnie Cates, can he participate in self-deprecating humor?
That's a big question because he's part of the SJW NBC mindset, and none of them have that. They all take
No.
themselves way too seriously. They can't laugh at
Exactly.
themselves. Like I misspell things all the time in my videos. Like, oh no, when people's putting it out because I can't go back to the videos now. I find that that's a mistake. And it's like, oh no, but I know that I misspell things sometimes. It's fine. I get it. It's funny.
Well, it's a misalignment of paradigms because he really comes from that mainstream paradigm where everything is broadcast. Like, I am the special important person and I am broadcasting to you. And YouTube is just not that way. It's very much an interaction between you and the fans. So if you're not prepared to do that, if you're not prepared to take some ribbing from your audience who likes to keep it real, who is on YouTube because they're here for the reality of it, not the polished corporate nonsense of it, then you're not going to make it on YouTube.
Oh my God. Like there's nothing the internet loves more than to sniff out a phony.
Oh,
They
totally.
love that shit.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
And so many of these people have that. They have imposter syndrome. And we're really trying to figure out if Donnie Cates has imposter syndrome. Like, is he really this big time Marvel writer that he thinks he is? You know, is he doing 4-hour meetings with Keanu Reeves? Is he on the verge of writing the next Marvel movie? You know, is that Donnie Cates, or is Donnie Cates just talking smack?
Yeah, well, I mean, he could be doing all of those things. I mean, that's possible, but he still could be a complete and total pussy who is a poser and who dresses like a rock star, but snivels in real life and talks about his feelings in an extremely womanly way that people can't relate to. And if that being the case, I would say stay off the internet. And I would say, actually, your best bet is to let Marvel continue to craft your image and keep posing for black and white photos of you in a motorcycle jacket looking like a teeny bopper. That's your best bet. But as soon as you come on the internet and start sniveling, there's nothing. I mean, I couldn't, even if I could command Comicsgate, I couldn't get them to leave you alone. They will make fun. The entire internet will make fun of you as long as you're on the internet.
Well, yeah, because he kind of earned it, didn't he? He's spent 2 years demonizing whole swaths of fans, calling them all sorts of horrific names, and now all of a sudden he wants to make peace because, out of honesty apparently. But no, it's because he's in trouble.
Even coming to you, Ethan, it makes me think he believes that narrative, though, that you can do that. Like somehow you have a magic wand in your studio that you can just wave it and all the problems of Donnie Cate will go away.
Well, the reason why he thinks that is because he's part of a network of people that do command others to harass and attack people and call them Nazis and make their lives a living hell. I mean, that is what SJWs do. They work together as evil lemmings, all in one purpose. When somebody is going to get canceled, that's their superpower. Cancel culture is their superpower. They know it well. And they assume that we do the same thing. But see, the fact that we're not SJWs and NPCs mean that we can think for ourselves. And if I ever told any of my fans to do anything, if I ever said, I command you, this is what we're going to do, or we're going to take down, they would all call me a pussy. They would all call me gay. They would all beat my ass. And that would be it for me. That would be the end of my customers, my subs, my fans are not going to listen to a damn thing I tell them to do. The reason why I have them is because I respect them. And we have a mutual respect going, except for Jabba the Cuck, who doesn't.
Who doesn't respect anyone?
No, he doesn't respect me at all. But I mean, that's how these relationships work. in the real world when you're not an NPC. Respect is given, respect is received in return.
Exactly.
So
Now, there's something about that in Machiavelli, but I'll get that right after I read this super chat. Why am I wrong about the ending of Watchmen? Thanks for 5. Yo, Adam, happy to see you see you on TDS Sitch's morning stream. Kind of messed up that he doesn't have you on more often. Well, I mean, I stream with him every Sunday. I think I see it. But yeah, there's if you ever read Machiavelli as a Prince, there's an old quote, and this is a very familiar quote, that it's better to be feared than loved. And people take that as on face value, but why he actually says that is because it's actually better to be loved. But the reason why he says it's better to be feared is because fear is a lot easier to control. Love is a lot because you have to earn love.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You cannot control how people love you. You can control how they fear you. You cannot control how they love you.
You can inflict fear. You can make
Yeah,
people be afraid
exactly.
of you. Yeah, you can't make them love you.
You can't
People love
inflict
EBS.
love. Yeah.
EBS has commanded the love of his fans by showing them respect. He's earned the love. He can't control it, but he's earned it. What Donnie Cates is coming from is an environment where it's fear that runs it, because people want control. So fear is what they can control, and so it's an environment of fear, and that's what he came from, I think, on your stream.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you're preaching Machiavelli on your stream. Sure, devil. It's pretty awesome. I've never read Machiavelli, but
you should. It's
I've
fantastic.
I've read the Dictator's Handbook, and the Dictator's Handbook just spells out Machiavelli with all the data and research from social science. So Machiavelli was definitely the one that got it right.
Oh, yeah, you should read The Prince. I suggest The Prince. It's a fun read. Well, it's not fun on the face value, but it's fun to see what he thinks and how he describes things. It's really
so. Ethan, what do you think the fallout is going to be today? How many people are in Donnie Cates' ear right now? And first of all, the thing that he tweeted out about wanting company, that he was lonely, was that after this live stream?
That was after. Yeah.
Okay.
First of all, Andino Palacio, you shut up in that chat. You're a troublemaker too, and I'm making new rules on my.
I think he froze up. I hope the new rule that he's making is not to time out Ethan's guess. Jabba was in my chat asking for a wrench, and the only reason I didn't give him one was I was worried he's going to time out the wrong person. Like, I have certain people that come in my chat that I don't want timed out. So,
real quick, Alex Karras, thank you much for the 2. I'm everywhere. PSA Sitch. Check your Discord DMs.
Dino's just like, shut up, Adam. You shut up, Antino. You don't tell Adam to shut up.
Well,
I'm telling you, Literature Devil, he's going in the corner.
Certain people show up in the chat, and you don't necessarily want to give him a wrench, and you don't necessarily want him timed out.
I want to give him a wrench, right across his head.
Yeah, there you go. So I asked you. So the tweet. The reason I'm asking about the tweet is because I'm curious if after he went on your stream and just totally botched it, if he was worried about his reputation with people on his side, and therefore was giving this open invitation to them to call him and talk to him about it.
I will say this. Yeah, I think first of all, I know he felt awful. Like, that was, when you're not feeling so good and then you do something that makes you feel even worse.
I know.
I think totally. that's where he.
Yeah, that was in his voice. That was clearly in his voice.
He was first of all, I caught him stuttering a lot on the stream that he did with his wife, which I felt there was a mild stutter there. Half of that stream seemed like it was ums and ahs and likes and verbal ticks, which is something, as a YouTuber, I used to do that all the time. That's kind of the California lingo. But after enough time on YouTube and editing yourself, you realize, geez, I say a lot. I got to really stop that.
Tighten it up. Yeah.
But he wasn't, he in the streams with his wife, they were awful. And then when he got on Ethan's stream, I was like, oh my God, this guy stutters. The YouTube is going to eat him alive.
Why be afraid of me? Like, I couldn't have been more warm.
Oh no!
Real quick, while we wait for EVS to come back, Tyler Preston, thank you much for the 2. Are we talking about Donnie Cates or Preston Poulter? Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
I think Donnie Cates in this.
But Preston Poulter's out there commending. Like, Preston Poulter is probably one of the people attempting to get into Donnie Cates' ear today.
Yeah. Preston Poulter is one of those guys I never ever think about.
That would be interesting. I don't think so. I don't think Preston Poulter I don't think Donnie would listen to Preston Bolter. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think he's on that level. But no, I think Donnie has honestly look at his relationship with his wife. Ask yourself what you're. God damn it!
No,
You're
still
here.
on.
We can still
Okay.
hear you.
Fine, you're fine.
You're
Every
like-
time I see that little circle, I'm like, motherfucker! I don't know what's going on with my internet right now. But in any case, what's he doing in the middle of the night, talking to me? Where's his wife?
staring at him, dude. She was right off camera. Why do you think he was stuttering like that?
I don't think so. I really don't. He's got this whole thing where he was saying before, like, I need a double player video game so my wife can play video games with me on the couch. We need things to do together. I'm so tired of going online to play video games, like these single player games. It's like he wants to invite her to be with him, but he wants to invite her to be with him doing things that he wants to do, and she just plainly, obviously, isn't into it.
Yeah. See,
You know, I
Andrew,
think she really enjoys being what.
Andrew Sabina says that I think he's referring to this week where he has someone to call him. I think he says that was after Mateo stopped by, so maybe he had some free time there. Hex Harper, thanks for the 5. Celebrity and internet celebrity are such vastly different beasts. The biggest stars in Hollywood have nothing of value on Twitter. Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing because you see all these people who have value one place, like these big stars, and then they come into like maybe YouTube, and some of them do really well, like Jack Black did. But then you have someone who's big on Twitter, like Gail Simone, and she comes to YouTube, and it's her mostly. I think most of her subscribers are Commscape people waiting for her to pump out another video.
Jack Black is an entertainer first, though.
Oh, yeah,
So
he's an
obviously
entertainer.
he's going to have a huge advantage. Gail Simone is a writer. She's used to being behind the scenes. Like
Yeah.
her video was definitely like a writer's video. Like, here's my corporate presentation of myself. It's very
Exactly.
different.
And the Zofrats, thanks for the 20. Hey, Adam, I'm glad you finally made it on here. That's fantastic. So am I.
Yeah.
So am I.
You stream too damn early in the morning. It's like you start, I think, at like 6 a.m. my time.
Well, you know, believe it or not, I actually got this idea from Medicare in the morning, where he used to I think last year, where he had some. I used to stay up pretty late at that time. His schedule was kind of strange and off. But Medicare used to like stream really early in the morning, and I used to catch him there. And I kind of like the idea of a morning show.
Yeah,
So I
me
got the
too.
idea recently. It's like, well, you know, right now, everyone's kind of stuck inside, and no one really streams in the morning. And some people might like some morning entertainment. So I decided to put like a relaxed, kickback kind of morning show on for people, and because I know I appreciated it, so I think some people might appreciate it too.
So what's the fallout, E? Who's
I,
talking to him today?
I don't know what the fallout is. People are sending me hilarious former. People are sending me things that he said in the past. I'm getting a lot of screen grabs here in case I want to make a video. These are great. And this one is so prescient, and really, he had the right attitude a long time ago. Can you share my screen, Lit? That
Yeah, I
Sure.
was going to say,
See.
can you share some of them?
Go ahead, share the screen real quick. There we go. Before we get started on that one, I'm going to see Rocket Sailors for $1.99. They assume war campaign is a method, not a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, look at
Not a
this. Only if you live stream with Ethan Van Sciver. No, thank you. Why not? Why would I? That's a good question. Why would you?
Why would you?
Why
Especially
did you
after what
call
we've
me
seen.
last night at 1:30 a.m.?
That didn't
God
age.
damn.
That one didn't age well.
Yeah,
No.
especially after that. See, when he was all cocky and confident when he had a job, and now the comic book industry is shut down. Now he's you're not looking so bad anymore. You're looking pretty good over there.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. So I got a bunch of these. I might do a video of Donnie and his situation with us because it's actually. He said that I was too irrelevant to earn an opinion.
Really? That's one.
He's definitely apparently changed his mind on that front. He expected you to snap your fingers and make all the hate go away.
Yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
that-
Total contradiction there.
All right, let me show you another one. This one's good. I do like this one a lot. Let me see here. Share screen.
Let's see. Add stream. There we go. And Donnie Cates.
That is
Could make
hilarious.
PBS relevant. Well, who did that?
Oh, this is nice. This you have to do you have to do a video on
You gotta
this.
do a video.
This
This
is
fantastic.
good.
Do a video and then interlude the video with these tweets and the phone call you had on stream.
Yeah. That would be so good.
And see,
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Dr. Crow.
Finally, relevancy. I waited
Yeah.
so long.
Dr. Crow for 499 says EVS looks like a friendly mall Santa, Adam Santa, and Satan. Satin.
Adam Satan, I think.
Let's see here. Punish Berserker, thank you very much for the 2. EVS needs to get higher octane internet gas. So I guess it'll stop you from freezing.
You know, if you reset your modem, I do it once a week before our live stream, our Sunday live stream, because we go for like 6 hours. So
Oh yeah, that's a good.
Yeah,
idea.
I'll do that. I'll reset it today because I want to do more live streaming today. Sorry,
Yeah.
Let Deb for the
does
frustration.
Oh,
That's
no
okay.
problem. I think. Sorry you had to go through all that, but yeah, I think this reset your modem. That might resolve the problem because I know I had some problems sometimes, and resetting the modem does absolutely work.
So predictions. Does Donnie Cates, what is Donnie Cates is it Saturday that he streams? What does his stream look like on Saturday?
Well, I mean, we're gonna see. I recommended the Comic Skaters not brigade him, but then let him finish his stream and then make fun of his stream when it's done.
Yeah.
But who knows what people are gonna do? I have no, I'm just saying that to me would be the funniest and most effective way to make internet content of Donnie and his wife. But it's up to other people. I think what's going to happen today is he's going to get a phone call from Joe Quesada. That almost certainly is going to happen. A little conversation from him and Tom Brevoort. What the fuck is the matter with you? Get off the drugs. Get off the liquor. Whatever it is that made you do that, knock it off.
That's funny because I did a meme this morning and I was curious about that. I was like, would Ethan approve of this meme? Because you have all the insider stuff, but I did it's the scene from Brazil where he's being interrogated by the guy in the mask. And I have Donnie Cates in the chair and Marvel Comics as the guy in the mask. Cause I'm wondering like if the Ministry of Propaganda is going to be all over Donnie today. Like, what are you doing? You're ruining everything.
Sam the room.
Yeah. I honestly think there's a lot of that. I mean, they build up, they do try to build up people's personas a little bit in comics. That's the problem.
Well, they like that. That's valuable for them because then Donnie Cates doesn't really have the ability to do what you've done because then he's totally beholden to them if they're literally image managing him.
I think that's why they sometimes think they're superstars. They think they're a lot more. I remember when Max Visage here reached out to you and they thought thought they were going to help save the people from the pandemic. Like they're going to save lives because of your YouTube channels.
Yeah, like use your audience. Responsibly so that we can combat the loss of life. We can lessen the loss of life over this pandemic.
I guess you have an audience full of nurses and doctors or something out there.
Yeah, I know. It's like these guys have delusions of grandeur about themselves. They all think they're very important. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The comic book industry collapsing is the best thing right now that can happen just to show these people how utterly frivolous they are. These are frivolous people, and I'm a frivolous person too. I fully recognize that. I'm not really trying to change the world. I'm just trying to change the comic book business a little bit. But these guys think they're important to mankind, to politics, to social engineering. It's bizarre, absolutely bizarre.
They think they're literal superheroes because they write about superheroes. They think they actually are superheroes.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's what their egos tell them they are. They think that every single time they write, every single product they put out, it's changing the world. They're putting out one Watchmen after another. They're going to change the whole genre because of their works.
Yeah.
He's not really in a position though to say that he got it wrong about Comicsgate, and that he's done so much smack talking about Comicsgate now. Really, the only way he can mend fences with Comicsgate is to say, I got it wrong. What I thought about Comicsgate was incorrect. But I don't see how he can do that because then he's saying all the people who are aligned with him at Marvel and DC and all these insiders that believe that nonsense, then they're wrong.
And it's gonna be really hard to walk all of that back. really, really tough.
Yeah, so that's what's fascinating about this for me is that, how do you how does someone do what Donnie Cates is trying to do? I guess Donnie Cates' problem is that he's just talked so much smack in the past. Like he would have to apologize. I mean, if you're an industry person, the thing to do is just to avoid talking a lot of smack, but I guess this guy just can't help himself.
Yeah, I think he's bad at it. That's the other thing. There are people who are much better at persecuting Comicsgate than Donnie is, and Donnie wasn't really inclined to do that until they forced him to do it. It's the same thing with Scott Snyder. He wasn't inclined to attack Comicsgate until people like Heather Antos forced his hand, and then it became like, okay, I need to do this. It's my responsibility to combat hate in comics, so I need to fight Comicsgate. Donnie doesn't even know what he's talking about. Like, he's not good at fighting Comicsgate. He doesn't have the message down that they have. So he sucks, and he doesn't even know why. When I say hi to Comicsgate, he's like, are you asking me to say hi to a crowd of Nazis?
Yeah, that's exactly what he was thinking the whole time. He's like, duh, 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 duh. He could see it, like Heather Antos in his mind, like
crossing your arms,
castigating. Yeah, exactly.
A little look.
Don't do that.
I'm telling you, and it's almost like, here's the thing that was crazy. Like, really, in real terms, last night, Donnie Cates came out drunk in his pajamas on stage in front of a San Diego Comic-Con sized audience, like panel room full of people. That's what he didn't understand, and that's what the internet kind of hides from you. But we were live streaming to nearly 2,000 people. That is a full crowd, gigantic panel room at a Marvel Comics panel during San Diego Comic-Con. And he came out, he stumbled out drunk in his pajamas and said, I want to talk. I just want to have a private conversation. And the crowd of people are like, boo, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Like, come on, Cates. It's not E3.
I kept having to tell him, it's like, bro, you're live. We're live right now. You don't want to be talking this shit right now live. And he's like, I know. But anyway, I mean,
you're desperately trying to get him off the phone, and he just wouldn't go.
Yeah. I understand that. That's what we're doing. When we're performing these live streams, these are a lot of people. Oftentimes, in cases like Nick Rekieta is playing a small like stadium full of people, talking about Arms Girl or whatever it is. That's a big crowd watching him. He's got a crowd. I've seen Nick Rekieta have 12,000 people in his audience. That is
a lot of people. A lot of people.
If you actually saw that, in person, that is a big sporting event. That's a concert. So that's something to think about next time. Come correct and be prepared. And when I tell you to get the fuck off the stage, maybe you should do it.
Just sober up and come back later. We can have a private conversation later. You kept saying, I'll have a private conversation with you tomorrow. We just talk tomorrow. Just go ahead and I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's not a good time. And he just kept wanting to talk, and he kept not listening to you and saying, I thought we were going to have a private conversation. He's like, okay, we will tomorrow. I thought we were going to have a private conversation. That's what I was led to believe. It's like,
it could have gone differently. Like, honestly, I didn't choose for that to happen. I kind of gave him a nice opportunity by, answering the phone, putting it on speaker and going, Donnie, hey, you're live in front of a lot of people, so I'll talk to you tomorrow. But you're in front of 2,000 Comicsgaters. Why don't you say hi, Comicsgate? Now, Donnie could have been like, hey, Comicsgate. Okay, Ethan, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And you know what? People would have loved him.
There's nothing wrong with being magnanimous to the people that you oppose. There's nothing wrong with being kind or diplomatic to people that you.
Well, I mean, saying hi, Comicsgate isn't an endorsement of Comicsgate. It doesn't even imply neutrality. It's just hi, Comicsgate.
Yeah, it's just hi.
They would spin it though. The Heather Antoses of the world would totally spin it. And it's interesting that he didn't do it because that's what he was thinking. He's like, even if I say hello to these people, that's. I'm going to be in trouble with my side, which is just, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that you can't even say hello.
Well, if I say hello to Comicsgate, the terrorists win.
Yeah, exactly. That's the mindset on their side, which is just, it's
But
bonkers.
the thing about it is that Donnie Cates is the biggest writer at Marvel right now. So,
oh, really?
Yes, he is. So Donnie can choose to take that power that he has and be a leader rather than a pussy and a follower, somebody who gets beat up and pushed around. I I am a leader. I'm not the leader of Comicsgate, but I'm certainly a leader. And I am not going to be told what to do. I'm not going to get off my live stream in front of my customers because you ask me to, because you're somebody from Marvel. I will make my own choices. I don't get influenced easily. But Donnie clearly does. And it's a shame. If I had Donnie's power at Marvel Comics, if I were Donnie, I'd be telling bitches what to do. I'd be doing whatever it was that I wanted to do. But clearly he's afraid. Who is he afraid of? Who is the biggest writer at Marvel Comics actually afraid of right now? That he would be too terrified to actually say, "Hey, Comicsgate, how you doing? Okay, I got it." Now anybody, Joe Quesada would have done that. People like Jimmy Palmiotti would have done that before. But I really think that now there is a climate of fear and terror in comics, and this is something that Comicsgate also needs to combat. This is why we can't give these people, the respect that let's have a civil conversation and see if we can come to terms. I don't want to come to terms with them. These are people who castigated me as a Nazi and castigated my entire audience as Nazis. They do not deserve to be negotiated with. They need to be beaten. We need to beat.
Beaten. They need to be destroyed.
Wait for
They
him to
need
come
to be
back,
annihilated.
We're waiting for Ethan to come back. Alex Halo, thank you so much for the 5 and your patience. It was more hilarious when the Mark Wade meltdown after your stream because someone was in chat parodying him. I guess he's talking about the Kate's meltdown. It's more fun. It's funnier than the Mark Wade meltdown because someone was just parodying it. I guess his stutters in the stream because he stuttered more than he spoke. Unfortunately, I'm mocking him for that. But that's the case that happened. He was just all stutters, not so much substance during that whole conversation.
On the Kates was a lot of stuttering. Yeah. I don't know. Mark Wade, did he stutter? Was he on a stream?
No, Mark Wade sounds like a snake. He
yeah.
is very smooth in what he's saying. He's whiny, but he's smooth, and he's a much better anti-comic skater than.
I like what Ethan said. Ethan made an analogy between the anti-Comicsgate people separating the stupid from the devious, which I really like because there are people who are just idiots. And I think Donnie Cates might fall into that category. Like, I guess idiot is strong, just uninformed, let's say. Just they've believed the nonsense that their coworkers and colleagues have virtue signaled about Comicsgate for so long that they just bought it. They're like, I'm friends with this guy. He knows what he's talking about. These people are horrible people, when really not being able to check into it yourself. Or, you would have to listen to some of the live streams and almost go person to person to realize that all of that stuff is complete and utter nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I really liked the conversation that you had with him. It was just it was very telling. He's not really there out of contriteness. He's not that act is just an act. And you even called him out on that. Like, I'm not buying this goody two shoes. I just want to make peace act. You're here because you want to take advantage of Comicsgate. You want to take advantage of your platform. He just wants to take advantage for his own ends. He's just trying to pretend to be friendly.
Yeah, he wants to build a YouTube channel in a peaceful environment. That's what he wants. Just positivity. He's like, I only want people who like me in my stream. It's funny because that's Doug TenNapel. That's Mike S. Miller. The same exact thing. They're like, no.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that, but that's true. Yeah.
If you're here to hate, get out of here. Unsubscribe. Come on.
I've said this a million times in my stream. I tell my wrenches, I'm like, people are allowed to come in here and hate on me.
Yeah.
If there are people who are saying things that are going to get my channel struck, those people need to be blocked. Robots, bots, whatever they are, they need to be removed. But people are allowed to come here and heckle me. It's part of the show. You're allowed to sit there and go, boo, shut the fuck up. Stuff like that. Whatever it is, you're allowed to be in the audience. I'm putting on a show for everybody, not just for people who like me. It's ridiculous.
We're going to win those people over eventually. We want them here.
Of course, yeah. Somebody might decide, somebody might hear me say something and go, you know what, that clicked with me. I changed my mind. I'm buying Cyberfrog. I like you now. All customers are important.
And part of the problem that they have on their side is that they are doing this like purity testing for people. Like, they're willing to throw people out for nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Donnie Cates is next on the list. I feel maybe.
Donnie Cates might be like, hey, I was thinking about what you said because suddenly I don't have a Thor book anymore, and hail Comicsgate.
Yeah.
Severely doubted, but it could happen. All of these people, all of these people are customers. They're potential. We as creators, we as people who are selling comic books need to see them as potential sales. We need to treat them as respect, treat them with respect because they have money. They're the ones with the money. And so all of them are important.
You got super chats?
No, not this time.
Oh no.
All out.
Forget it.
Poor EVS.
I'm in hell right now.
I
I'm in
know.
hell.
If you want to take 5 minutes and reset your modem, it might help a lot.
I'm gonna do it. I'll leave, guys.
Actually, I think we'll wrap up the stream pretty soon here.
Okay.
Run around the 3.5 hour mark. I usually go 2 hours, but I've been going a little longer because I had to delete the stream from yesterday because I got hit by some YouTube hit me with a copyright claim. It doesn't strike your channel, but I didn't. It was a Marvel song. I watched that little clip of that war campaigner going up to the comic book shop and then pasting the guy's word on his window, and apparently that section got me. I muted it because I knew what was coming, but it still tagged me for some reason anyway, and I was a little over dramatic with it. And so if Marvel's going to claim it, I'm just going to delete the whole thing. You're not going to benefit from a 4-hour stream because I played a few seconds of your song, but yet it claimed like 20 to 30 seconds. But I wasn't having that. So
yeah, I'm starving anyway. I'm gonna grab some breakfast. So
sounds good. Well, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. That was fantastic.
If you guys,
thanks, pal. Appreciate it.
If you want to jump on later, Ethan, I'm more than happy to do it.
Yeah, hit me up. When are you gonna stream? Do you know?
We'll talk about it let's do. Yeah, exactly. 10:30 sounds good to me. All right, let's go.
Awesome. All right, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone in the chat for joining us. Thank you for being very generous today. Awesome, having awesome conversations. Very excellent points. Thank you, Adam Friended. Thank you, Ethan Sciver. Appreciate it. Awesome to have you on. And I will see you all